my name is Scarlett. I'm from California. I actually drove all night, so I might be a little high on coffee. I am, yeah. So I arrived at the hotel like at 6, 7. I caught a little bit of nap, and then I got up and came to the event. So I'm so glad that you're actually here at my stage. I really appreciate it. I have been a Kennedy person, a volunteer from very early on. I've been working to get him on the ballot, register people for our new party, and I completely trust Kennedy for whatever he does, and when he endorsed Trump, I'm like, oh, 100% trust that's the right decision. So I decided to campaign for Trump as well. And I've been phone banking and doing testing in just a swing states that I feel like is more effective. Just personally come down to a swing state and change my life. Come to the workshop tomorrow. Well, yeah, I will.
Streaming live.
Okay, awesome. Okay, cool. Yeah, I feel like Arizona, there might be a lot of crazy stuff going on, but you guys are still luckier than we Californians. It's like deep, deep, scary death too. When people say California, like around here, you must think LA, but you're not from LA. Where? I'm from the Bay Area. Okay, so that's like deep in the valley of the east there, right? Yes, so yeah, people can get really crazy when I banner, when I do tabling. I get chased off by those crazy events. I'm not even joking. I get crazy. Yeah, I get people like call the cops on me and just yelling. So the cops in the area, well, the cops when they come, they're actually pretty friendly guys. It's just those crazy guys that they just feel like our presence is offensive to them. And what last week I was actually on the bridge banner when this one person the cops on me and actually gave them some Trump questions. So the cops are good. You know, there's always crazy people with so yeah.
And I feel like Arizona, please keep it red
Yeah.
or flipper red.
Yeah.
Keep it.
They're trying to turn us purple, and we're trying so hard to stay the red state of my youth.
Yeah, I try to turn California purple. If California can turn purple, there's still hope. But it's deep blue.
It is.
Wow. Well, thanks for all that you've been doing. Holy crap. I'm really happy you came all the way
I
down
know,
here.
it
That
really,
says a lot.
I'm
I've
happy
met
to be here.
I've met a lot of people from California
Mm-hmm.
For this, just for this, or
for
just
our
like,
movement. Like in
Mhm.
2021, I helped out at the audit for the Senate audit after
Mhm.
the 2020 election, and there was a group of women that came from California that felt that God asked them to come down here during that time. I mean, they were down here for days, and I've seen them
Wow.
since
Wow.
many times during different events.
Yeah.
They really feel that this is a stronghold and that this is something worth fighting for. So thank you for including us in
Thank
that
you.
effort.
Yeah, we try in California. So Kennedy's core group in California, most of them were blue to start with, and now we are all for Trump.
Wow,
So
that's
You
crazy.
awesome.
you do
Yeah.
see the hope
Yes.
that's present
There's-
in California.
There's another Maha lady that we're the one who introduced us earlier
Uh-huh.
that we're gonna have on the show,
Yes.
and she told me, I'm super progressive, and through Kennedy, through all this, she's MAGA. Like,
Wow.
what?
Yeah, Kennedy
That
did turn a
blows my
lot of
mind.
people around.
Right.
Yes.
Well,
Thank goodness.
He's
Thank
so
goodness for
amazing
him.
because he's been involved, so he understands the deep state and he
Yes,
understands what it's going to take
exactly.
to clean it up.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that's what President Trump's all about. And he's learned a lot from his first term, and all he's wanting to do is be for the people. Even
Yes.
during his first term, it was always,
I
I'll never
completely trust
forget
that.
his inauguration. He
Mhm.
said, for years, we have borne the cost for what the bureaucrats in Congress and at the presidency and our local politics have made those decisions, and it cost us a lot,
Yes.
us the people. And he's a wealthy man, doesn't have any reason to be doing this.
Exactly.
he's
Yeah,
actually
he's
lost
risking his
wealth.
life. Yeah.
And he's risked his life multiple times, I'm sure, and he's lost wealth
Yes.
where
he has.
everybody else in office seems to gain wealth. So
And
there's a
status,
telltale.
just like Trump, right? He's lost money and lost
Yeah.
favor
Yeah.
with
Kennedy, for
famous
sure,
people. It's
right?
the same
Yeah.
thing
Both of
because
them are
they're
risking their
standing
lives
for
too.
what's
Yes,
right,
yes.
and it's
Mhm.
not easy, but it's so admirable, and it's why we the people love them so much.
Yeah, I'm so
Exactly,
appreciative.
yeah.
And they're like you said earlier in the segment, it speaks volumes to who they are as a statesman.
Hmm.
Where they're, and that's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be our elected officials, are our representatives representing our voice, not their own private interests. And it's so far down that end right now. It's
Yeah.
going to take a long while to clean it up. But if we get the right people, we've got Elon Musk on board.
Yeah.
Him
Yeah,
doing
we
it.
got the dream.
Him
dream
buying
Oh, my
Twitter was
word.
Yeah.
just like game changer. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
exactly. I watched an interview with him, a town hall in Pennsylvania yesterday with him, and he's so refreshing because he's so honest. And that's the thing with all these new people that are joining the movement with President Trump, is they're just being honest about, they're saying what we're thinking, but we don't have the platform.
Yes.
And Elon Musk talked about that. He talked about how it's really just supposed to be about the people, what's going on. And just an interesting point, and I've put it out on social media. Someone from the audience asked him, "What is the most effective way to vote?" He actually said, "In person, paper
Yes,
ballots, and
I
a
saw
hand
that one
count."
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
I
but
saw
we're
it,
not
but
there
only
yet.
because you shared it with
Oh,
me
right.
on social media.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is, we're not there yet because our system is what it is. So we need to get out the vote hugely, right? So
Mhm.
everybody get out there and vote. They want us to feel discouraged. They want us to feel like it's out of our reach. But if we all get out there, grab 5 friends, make sure they're registered to vote, make sure they're active, and take them to the polls or fill out the ballot and
Mhm.
vote.
Right.
Vote Republican all the way down ticket. Vote for your conservative candidates on the nonpartisan races, your school board races, your city council races. Like Matt Evans is a nonpartisan race for mayor, but he's a conservative on the ticket. And he wants to get rid of the World Economic Forum and all the 15-minute city innuendos that Kate Gallegos is involved with.
That's
She's
awesome.
currently head of the World Economic Forum
Hmm.
in certain segments. And she wants to bring all of that one world government into our city of Phoenix. And it will change the entire landscape of what we know Phoenix to be today.
Mhm.
So we're so grateful for people like you who've gone and looked beyond the party line and said, we all are Americans, right?
Yes.
We're all Americans. We all want freedom of speech, freedom of autonomy of our bodies, freedom to think, right? Because
Yeah.
right now
Freedom of information.
they're
Yeah.
almost making it illegal to think
Yeah.
critically.
Because the media is
trying.
completely controlled.
Mhm.
Absolutely. I
Yep.
just love it. And Elon Musk, as you mentioned, has done a phenomenal job with Twitter X. And
Mhm.
he said in that same interview, maybe it was a different one, because you know how YouTube goes from one
Yeah,
to
to
the
the
next.
next.
He said, if I lose money, so be it.
Yeah.
I mean, really, like, what's money gonna do for you if we're all locked down in communism?
Right.
Exactly.
For those of you that love Elon Musk, which we all do, and those that may be on the fence, like someone talked about. So Katie, no, Kamala Harris, we call her Kamala Mala. That's what my family calls her, Kamala Mala Harris. She wants to incarcerate Elon Musk if she gets in office.
Yeah.
Imagine that. Go into jail because you're allowing free speech on your platform.
Well, I mean, didn't they just put the lady in jail for protesting outside the abortion
Abortion clinic.
clinic and
Let's not forget.
Bannon? And I mean,
Well, look at the gentleman who is over Telegram, right?
Yeah.
mhm,
He's
yeah.
currently in Brazil in prison. It's unbelievable. So vote for freedom. Vote Republican all the way down. Trump ticket. We're grateful to have Kennedy on, and the Maha movement is huge, and it's funded independently of the Trump movement. If you all pay attention to all of the ads, it says paid for by the Kennedy team. So
Yeah.
it's still
It's small donations
thriving.
from
Yes.
grassroots.
Mhm.
Because it's truly the people.
Yes.
It really
Yeah.
is. It's
It's
so
not from the big
inspiring.
corporations.
And I bet that scares them to death.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know?
that's why they try to
Yes.
smear
'Cause
him,
it-
portray him as this, nutcase and just crazy person. Yeah, they don't want any true information about him to come out and let people see who he really is.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. But I think, the podcasters, the independent quote journalists, just regular people on TikTok, on Instagram, they're the ones spilling the beans.
Yeah, the
You know?
podcasts are really playing a major role
Right.
in this election.
Well, like how many big time cable news interviews did Kennedy was he allowed to even sit on? I don't think
A
there was
few,
one.
like two. Well, yeah, they did a few like taped interviews, and then they cut and paste and try to
Mhm.
make him sound
Yeah.
crazy. He probably had like two or something like
If
that,
even
like
that, because I
live
know he said
interviews.
he was on a podcast saying nobody will have me.
Yeah.
This election will be won with podcasters,
Yeah, and
independent
when he does
podcasters.
get onto the mainstream media, they ask really nasty questions. They're really not serious questions. They're just picking,
Yep.
you
Right.
know,
They frame it how they
yeah,
want it to be
exactly.
portrayed.
They have a
It's-
narrative that they're pushing
Yeah,
with the questions, with the
Yeah.
setup, everything.
I wish they would just be journalists. I think we
That
do a
would be
better job,
nice.
and we don't even do that for a living.
you guys are doing a fantastic job.
Oh,
I really
thank you.
appreciate it.
It's a gift of gab.
That's what it is. You just
That's
need
all
women.
it is. Gift of gab.
Yes.
But anyhow, tell us your name again.
Scarlett.
Scarlett. Thank you so much,
Scarlett from
Scarlett.
California, the
Thank
Bay
you.
Area. Thank
It's
you.
Thank you. Nice
it's a
meeting you
pleasure.
guys.
Thank you for the hat.
Thank you.
And we're coming back with chips and salsa.
One thing. What was I going to say? Oh, were you at the Lincoln Day lunch?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah. Okay.
you
So
go?
yeah, I was
Okay.
there. I took. I went with the Tars because I was
Oh,
selling
nice.
like the
Is your daughter
Tars.
part of the TARS?
Yes, she just joined.
Okay.
And so
Nice.
they were trying to raise money for she's going to be going to a leadership training
Mhm.
institute thing next summer in DC. And as a very new TARS parental advisor myself, I will
Okay.
be going with her.
Fun.
And so the TARS are they're just starting to raise money. I want to say we raised like $600 with
Wow.
our raffle that day. So we're really excited. Sandy Money's been just doing
Yes, she's
an excellent
amazing.
job. Yeah,
Yep.
she's so kind, and she has such a heart for the young ones. And
She does.
the kids are a little shy. They need some
Well,
time.
they're
their
at that
parents.
age
Yeah,
too, right?
Yeah, it's like
But no,
everything's. I embarrass everyone, and everything's
Sandy's amazing. Sandy's in my LD, and been in leadership. She's actually PC of the year like a couple years ago.
really. I'm not surprised.
Yeah,
she does
she
so much. and
does
she's
wonderful
so-
work. She stepped down from precinct leadership because her heart was in the young Republicans,
TARS.
the teenagers, and getting
Mhm.
them involved. So
I
big
want to
shout
say
out
she
to
won
Sandy
like
Money.
two of the auctions that we had.
Yeah, I think she did,
'cause she
yep.
won the bicycles.
Oh, she did.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
how
then
funny.
I don't know what else she won. Something else.
She's very generous. What is
Yeah.
it?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
There
the-
was the hotel stay.
Oh, the one in Carlsbad.
Was it the one with? I think it was the one in Craig's plane. I think.
Yeah, in the
Something
private
like that.
plane. So,
Because I bid on the bikes. And I was like, Sandy, you bid against
oh
me.
really?
And
oh
she was
really?
like, but I only bid once. Like she
Oh,
was
that's
like,
why she
way
kept
down.
going,
Yeah,
yeah.
she was like way
Yeah,
above my pay
awesome.
grade. So
So we have another guest. Just a quick segue, really quickly. I received a text message from Justin Heap's campaign manager. They had that an event coming up,
oh,
so they had to bowl. I'm really sorry we didn't get to interview him. It would have been good to
yeah.
talk with him, but he did come, and
He
I
did come say
appreciate the
hello, and we did
effort.
get a pic.
And we will be talking about that race when we have a minute to do that, because that's
Yeah.
a very, very important race.
Mhm.
But right now we have El Senor Carlos that
Carlos,
gave me my hat.
Maha,
I'm-
Maha
So
Carlos.
he got a replacement hat. You come prepared. I like it.
I can see you now.
Yeah, we
Hold
need
on,
to
I
make sure
can't-
we can hear
Can't
you,
hear him.
Carlos.
Just a second. Let's try
Okay.
again. Go ahead. I can hear him
can
now.
see you now.
Yes, I can see you, and I
Can
can
you
hear
see me now?
Wow. Wow, this is lovely. The sound is, I cannot believe I'm here.
Thank you, Eric. Eric, our fine producer. Give it up for Eric, everyone.
Eric, woo woo.
Aplauso,
He always-
aplauso.
Always does an awesome job.
He
I
does.
appreciate him so much.
What a patriot.
Totally.
So, Carlos, tell us. So, I heard a little birdie told me that you were one of just the major volunteers for RFK Jr. here.
I am actually came in through Charlie Kirk, who
Okay.
invited me Turning Point to meet Donald Trump Jr. And
When was this?
this is a couple days ago.
Oh, when he was just here.
Here, yeah. and,
Down on Mill?
And then we went over to a varsity, we
This,
had a private
On
event.
Mill? Yep.
On Mill, and then he gave me the hat. So I signed a pair of boots from my friend.
Woo!
And
I'm
her-
jealous.
Also signed her hat, but I wasn't that lucky. But I got one hat from him. So I say
Okay.
thank you very much, Donald
Yes.
Trump Jr., for doing an excellent job coming down to Arizona and letting us know what's going to happen. I
Yep.
said we want to make America great. And here we are, the Spanish speakers of this nation. We are
Mhm.
U.S. citizens. doing the right thing,
Thing.
and it's time that we go back to better times because everybody knows we're stressing out there. At gas at the pump, the
Yep.
grocery store.
Grocery
For
store.
real.
The list is long,
Yeah.
Yep.
and I was tired of being on the other side. I was the biggest opposition Donald Trump had for the longest time.
Okay.
And but then one thing led to another. I became a U.S. citizen the very day Donald J. Trump took office. He was being sworn in at the White House. The very same moment I was here being sworn in as a
Aw. As a
You're
citizen
citizen.
at the
kidding.
Supreme Court.
Wow.
At the
Okay.
Sandra Day O'Connor
Congratulations.
Yes,
courthouse. Mhm.
yes, at the courthouse. So I was putting up my photo on social media. I'm a business person. I do marketing media for companies. And do some language, assessment for the companies and the people, some senators, some people who might be important, some might not, but they're doing business in America, so we got to help each other, right?
Mhm.
But now I got to the point where it was time to make this transition. I became a U.S. citizen and no longer be out there just watching, things happen. I said I want to be involved,
Be
and
a
that's
part of
why
it.
I love
that's
it.
what they're telling you. He's one of the biggest volunteers because yeah, I'm not getting paid. That's right.
Neither are we.
Nobody's
Same.
I'll tell
sending
you-
me.
Hashtag same.
I'll tell you what payment is. Freedom. Freedom, freedom,
Nah,
freedom.
she gave the dando del todo sin comer. Nosotros ya almorzamos, ya todavía no. Tráiganle algo de comer, por favor.
Un tamale, un burrito, por
Tamal,
favor.
hay pollo ahí. Aquí trae agua el
Pollo,
muchacho.
hay
Mira,
pollo.
él entiende.
Ay, gracias, señor.
Y mira,
Gracias. Oh, thank
y
you,
hasta le
sir.
regala un botón.
Thank you, sir.
Y
Oh
es
my-
lo que
I love it.
le puedo
Thank you.
aconsejar a nuestra gente que por favor no se den, muchas gracias caballero, no se den por vencidos. Este planeta tiene dos idiomas muy importantes, el inglés que ha tomado al mundo de los negocios y el español que también está en plataforma ahí taco a taco, ¿eh? Entonces no se desesperen, lo mejor viene. yo quiero avisarles a nuestra gente, a los que están entendiendo este mensaje, que tal vez no hablan en inglés, porque yo sé que a veces dicen, mucho inglés, hablemos en español, nuestro idioma. Ok, se va a poner mejor esta cosa, se va a poner mejor. Si ustedes querían venir legalmente, querían venir a trabajar, querían venir a hacer su familia, querían hacer su futuro, con la nueva política que viene, van a ver cosas increíbles. Yo no sabía, pero ahora que conocí a Donald Trump Jr., me dijo, oye, ¿qué pasa si esto va así? Mira, estamos llegando a nuevas plataformas, se van a lograr muchas cosas y es una elección histórica.
Sí.
No solo porque México tiene su primera mujer, aquí también hay una candidata mujer, y lo que está pasando, que ya ganó y ahora vuelve a ganar. Entonces, ¿qué pasa? Ya saben quién va a ganar. Entonces, por favor, pasen, corran la voz, díganle a votar, porque tenemos presidente ya y las cosas buenas vienen.
Sí, mira, y siempre hay mucho comercial contra Donald Trump, porque uno de los mexicanos nomás están escuchando un lado, pero no los dos lados. So, claro que lo que usted dice es la verdad. Todo va a afectar a la familia que está trabajando duro para que ponga el mercado. Cuando va al mercado no está tan barato, tan caro todo. Uno tiene difícil tiempo para pagar todo.
Sí, y todo lo bueno va a tener un enemigo. Siempre hay gente que no le gusta lo que estamos haciendo. Siempre hay gente que dice, solo están mostrando palabras. No, aquí vamos a la acción. Aquí estamos hoy. Yo le dije, vamos a levantarnos temprano a una amiga artista que vino a dibujar, Sara. Sarah's doing all the drawings.
Sarah has a great talent.
Hay un talento tremendo. Y así como ese talento allá, atrás de la pantalla, viéndonos ustedes, tienen mucho talento. Estados Unidos es un país que apoya su talento y ahora vamos a apoyarlos mucho más. Aquí tenemos las empresas, aquí tenemos las casas, tenemos los jardines, tenemos la belleza. Todo lo que ven es verdad. Aquí se puede hacer una vida. ¿Y por qué no? Vengan, si aquí los vamos a apoyar, aquí les vamos a dar asistencia en el nuevo formato que empieza en enero 2025.
Y sabes, también es importante averiguar que los demócratas, como muchos mexicanos somos demócratas, así es la demócrata, ¿verdad? El party. Pero uno dice, pues no, yo soy demócrata, no puedo votar por Donald Trump. Eso no es cierto. Sí puede votar por Donald Trump, porque el boleto va a tener todos los candidatos, ¿cómo se dice?
Los candidatos.
Candidatos allí en el boleto. So, a votar republicano. No tiene que ver nada que uno está registrado demócrata.
Exacto, no importa si, lo importante es que vengan, apoyen a los movimientos. Hay muchas oportunidades para involucrarse. Si tenían pena, miedo o que piensan ustedes que están peligrando algo, no hay peligro. Aquí estamos tomando nuestros derechos como ciudadanos americanos. Estados Unidos regresa a la libertad.
Por la gente.
Por la gente, por el pueblo. Para el pueblo ya es algo que han dicho.
Y la familia.
Y la familia.
La familia.
Siempre se recuerda.
Educación para los niños.
Los valores.
Todos.
Aquí vamos a continuar con una esencia de valores que nos llevarán al próximo nivel.
Claro, amén. Gracias.
¿Alguna otra preguntita? yo soy muy conversador.
Está bien todo. Entonces, nomás podemos averiguar que yo estoy hablando con muchos mexicanos y también falta que gente, como digo, están experienciando difícil tiempo ahorita con
la están pasando
todo está muy caro. Me dice, mira, no me alcanza, pero tenemos que votar a President Trump y él va con su team de gente que va a traer, todo va a volver y se va a empezar todo a cambiar. Porque lo que hace esta administración, mucho daño a la gente. Por eso todo está bien caro ahorita.
Está la situación en una crisis que ya no se puede vivir de esa forma. Vamos a ir cambiando, vamos a ir tomando este nuevo modelo que viene si votan. Si votan, viene un mejor futuro. Para mí, que yo ya vivo aquí, no tengo que preocuparme mucho, pero yo estoy aquí para ayudarlos.
Sí, y ahorita cerca de aquí, la 7 calle y la Broadway, o es la Southern, Southern se me hace está una votación. Un edificio no puede votar uno en persona.
Ahí pueden votar en persona. Si quieren consultar, asesorarse mejor cómo pueden votar, pueden poner sus preguntas ahí en el vivo que estamos teniendo ahora. Y podemos continuar también en inglés si hay mucha gente que ya los perdimos porque
Sí.
dijeron no, nosotros no conversamos español. Okay, so we go back to English. We appreciate that you are watching. We appreciate you that you are tuning in to this message, a very important message. We did meet with Donald Trump Jr. these last few days here in Arizona, who gave us the news that good things are coming. Good things are coming, and the only way we're going to get them is when we vote.
Get out and vote.
Get out and vote.
We're
That's
getting
it.
a wrap, Senor Carlos.
Yes.
I think we have another candidate on.
Let's do it.
Can
Let's
stand by.
bring the
So
candidate.
thank you
Yes.
so much,
Thank
You're
you,
welcome.
everybody.
Yes.
We
Thank
appreciate
you.
all your work and everything he did. You know,
Muchas
for RFK
gracias.
Jr. It does benefit us all because of the way that things have turned out and all that stuff. So
No, it's been great. We what a great turnout. We've got candidate Jeff Zink on standby. Wait for our producer to give us the
Yeah.
sign as to when that can occur.
we also have
And I know we need
Sandra Jerez.
And we have Matt
Gonna be on
Evans. Matt
standby.
Evans is if you can make your way to the production booth, we'd like to definitely get
He
you in
looks
here
like
to
he's deep in conversation
when
over there,
he's
so,
not deep in conversation because the voters are important. So Matt, when you have
and those personal connections, there's nothing quite like it.
nothing like it, and you have, come on out because this is your opportunity to interact with your candidates one-on-one. If you're mad about something, you're a little ticked off about what's been going on, that you've got their
Now's
ear.
the
And you know
time.
what? It's our duty. The Constitution says it's our duty to redress our grievances with our elected officials and those that are going to be representing us. And here's Matt right now with his dog. You can come behind us really quickly, and then because we're going to get ready to interview Jeff. So we're going to interview Jeff, and then if you can just hang out, and then. But I wanted to make
I
sure
need a
you just
dog.
knew we're not going to forget you. Yeah.
Say hi, Benny.
How cute. How cute.
I thought he was
Thanks,
talking to
Matt.
us, like to say hi to the dog. I was like, the dog's name is Patty too. Like I
Oh.
was just a little confused right there
Yeah.
for a second. Sorry.
Here's Jeff. Do we have a special headset for Jeff that accompanies a hat?
Do we have the Stetson headset or not? I don't know. Let's
Yeah,
see. Can
we
we hear
need-
you, Jeff? Nope, can't hear him
No.
yet. So we'll
Can't?
just be a second. Let's see.
How about that? Can you hear me now?
There we go.
All
Can
right,
you hear
cool.
me now? Can you hear me now?
All right. Jeff Zink's in the house. We got thinkzink.vote is where you want to go and take a look at my policies. And then also, if you want to donate, you can do that. The other thing, too, is that we've got something tragic tomorrow. We got to take my son to prison. And we got to turn him over because of J6 and the corrupt judicial system that we have. And so we're going to be doing that. And you can help him with his legal fees with go to giftsendgo.com/Ryan Zink. Ryan Zink is one word there, and you can donate.
RYANZINK.
Yes,
Okay, just making sure that people have that.
absolutely.
Well, Jeff, tell us what congressional district you're running for and what is your platform?
Okay, so I'm running for Congressional District 3. I
The best
previously,
one.
That's right. This is you're in my congressional district, and the thing is that what we're trying to do right now is reach out to the people. The platform is faith, family, and freedoms. It's really easy. Faith in the fact that we have so many Catholic, Christian, conservative people that they think they're Democrats
Mhm.
until they all of a sudden find out. And we've even got a test. We got a test for that. And I think y'all have seen this
Yep,
before.
love it.
We have it in Spanish. Okay, it's Spanish on this side. See if we can get that zoomed in real quick or a little bit.
On me?
Okay, and then on the other side, it's in English. And the thing is that what you do is you just ask the simple questions. Do you want open borders,
I'm holding it to the camera.
or do you want secure borders? Do you want high inflation or low inflation? See, these are the things that are very, very simple for all of us. And the fact is that you, on November the 5th, and I'm talking to the listeners right now, you have a choice. See, the thing is that while we are called by God to voter faith, and we need to make sure that we do what God asked us to do. This is a very simple ask here, but the problem is that it has two very different outcomes. See, the thing is that sin has consequences. We don't get away from the consequences of sin,
It's true.
but we have murdered children for over 50 years. We have stain that has literally been a blot on our nation itself. The thing is that people say, well, it's just a choice. I call it a child.
Yes.
And the thing is that child grows up and has and marries and has children, and those children have children. Well, if you take the life of that child, then you destroy the whole legacy. And so let's look at this legacy. So if in 1920, Margaret Sanger, who brought together Planned Parenthood, and she then turned around and created this to where they were going to murder children. My grandmother could have aborted my father in 1928. So it was established during the time when he was being carried, and my grandmother could have aborted him. Then the 3 boys would not have been conceived. The 17 grandchildren would not have been conceived. And the 5 great-grandchildren that we have now would not be here. And here's the other thing. You look at this, and the 3rd child of my father, Henry Zink, is going to be the sitting U.S. congressman in CD3. I wouldn't be here, and I wouldn't have this opportunity to represent the people here in this great area. And so this is why it's so important, and why as a pastor, Exodus 20:13 tells us that thou shalt not murder.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
In Isaiah, it says that I formed you in your mother's womb. I knew you, and I knitted you together for my purpose.
Yep.
Yep.
And people then also make the statement that children don't come with a manual. Then they haven't read Proverbs, because Proverbs says that if you train up a child in the way they should go, they won't depart from it when they're older. And so these are the biblical principles that we set down. And the thing is that our entire government has been literally built on 2 chapters of the Old Testament. They always say that how wise was our founding fathers? Well, they were able to read, and they read Deuteronomy, and the Deuteronomy tells you how to build a government, and that's exactly what we have today here in the United States. And here's the other thing. Where did our laws come from? Has anybody heard Levitican law? From Leviticus is exactly where we got our 10 commandments, and where we have the basis of our judicial system, which is not even being followed anymore.
No, that's true. I mean, we've strayed so far from godly principles. So let's bring it back to the local race. Now, I've been with you to some of the canvassing events we've had in Guadalupe. And what are the most memorable moments you've had with some of your constituents? There's been quite a few.
Let me tell you one that you and I shared, because I had a son that was on the porch. You were talking to the mother, grandma in the house and everything. And what was so interesting is that she asked you, she goes, "Can I talk to him? I've never met a Republican, and I want to talk to him and see how he really feels." And so we sat and talked, and we found out that not only was she misled by the Democratic Party, but that, and we were already too late because it already closed. It was past October the 7th. So we couldn't, we're going to go back and we're going to register her as a Republican, because we went through that list, and she found out that day that she was going to be a Republican. And she said, everybody in the house, I'm going to make sure that all my children, my grandchildren, everybody who can vote, all of them are going to vote for me and the Republican Party.
Right. So what we're finding is a lot of Latinos are registered Democrat, because that's what we do. That's what our parents were. That's what I did at 18.
You can just change it one conversation at a time. That's the only way. You can't put out blanket commercials or anything and think that that's going to, it needs to be talking to people one by one, individually. That's the only way you can open eyes, change hearts towards
Yeah, the
towards
face to
them
face
voting their
voter
values.
interaction
Mhm.
action is
There's
huge.
nothing like it.
So there was another lady that actually said she'd never had Ruben Gallegos or anybody come to her house, so she was
Exactly.
going to vote for you, and she's praying that you win. It means a great deal. And I mean, before I got involved in politics, I've lived in my home for 22 years, and I've never once had anyone come to my door asking for my vote, sharing their political views with me or anything. So what this movement is doing, because we're in a very important race, is we're getting out there and we're talking. And when they see their congressional candidate come to their door, or cares enough to go to Guadalupe, to go
Right.
to South Phoenix, to go to the barrios and Mesa, it speaks volumes because they do matter.
Right.
The Democrat Party has used them as a vote when the Republican candidates we have really care about them, like you.
Oh, absolutely. Well, and the other thing, so we covered faith pretty well. Now we're going to go to family. Family has a whole nother aspect to it. The thing is that a lot of the families do not want little boys in girls' bathrooms.
Right.
They do not want little boys competing against their girls.
Right.
Exactly.
And the thing is that we also do not want to have transgender ideology in our schools. And so family is something that's important to me.
So break that down a little bit for our audience. What's a transgender ideology?
Okay, so that means that if I have pronouns that are them, they, or us, we, or I don't know exactly what, because I never
It-
paid attention
There
to
is
their
a they.
pronouns.
They,
which-
them, and Caesar.
And,
And
Well, with the they,
Yeah.
I come from a Pentecostal background. I'm thinking they're possessed by demons if they say they.
yeah. So we sit down and we look at this, and they say, well, I am a woman. And so now I'm going to sit down and I want to wear dresses and do all these other things. Okay, that is something that little kids should not
You're
be
saying
able to
a
do.
boy, a
Right.
male
A
with
little
male parts is now saying he's a girl,
Correct.
and he wants to dress like a girl and have all the privileges of a girl,
Yes.
including going to the bathroom in a girl's
And
restroom.
he is, or she, her is what is.
It would be a he in my book still.
Still be a he for me. But the thing is that these are the things that they're trying to do. Now, there's a reason why you have to be 21 to drink, 21 to have a tattoo, 21 to smoke. You need to be an adult to do that. And yet we are taking these drugs that will sterilize children that they do not understand, and they haven't conceived what it would be like to father or mother a child
Mhm.
in the future. That's being stripped away from them. These are very critical foundational family issues that we need to address and make sure, and that's what I will fight for.
So, are you finding that in the public schools that are in your district right now? Where is that at? I mean, I have family in the inner cities, and there is some of that coming through
There is, and the thing is that we have books,
at the Phoenix Library. I
in
know
the
there's
Phoenix
stuff there.
libraries. We have them in some of the Phoenix schools and stuff, because that the great thing is that we've got some school board people are
Candidates.
running that are
Mhm.
here, and hopefully they get on and we get to and they
Yeah.
get to talk to them. Because here's the thing: a lot of people think that I'm running for Congress. That's a very important position. I don't consider it nearly as important as somebody running for school
Local,
board
absolutely.
and being here locally. Because here's the thing: government, even at the national level, is still local. Who votes me in for the national seat?
Right.
All of CD3. These
Right.
people right here in this district is going to vote for me to send me. And the thing is that do they want somebody who has the ideology that everything that we've discussed is okay? And I don't. And
Well, that's important because a lot of the school board funding comes from federal, right?
exactly.
And President Trump's already talking about he's going to ban all that and not going to stop the funding. So he's going to need the support of Congress to do that.
Correct.
right.
So that's why it's important we vote in congressional candidates that have those same ideologies that we as Christians want in the family portion of your platform, because President Trump needs someone like you in office to support him, because
Exactly.
there's going to be all those radical Democrats voting against that.
Right.
See,
he
and the-
needs the support of
Oh, absolutely.
the
And
Zinks and the Kelly Coopers and the
All of our
Abraham
candidates.
all of the
and- yeah.
and Abe Hamade's and
Right.
and so we need to sit down and send them But here's what's really important that people need to understand, which is by not voting, you are voting for the person that you don't want in
You
the
can't
office.
stay home this time.
So you can't
Cannot
do
stay
that.
home.
But so here's the thing: we had 270,000 evangelical Christians. That's Catholic, Christian, Methodist, Baptist. I mean,
Yep.
yeah, all the denominations, and they sat on the sidelines. Think
Mhm.
about this in 2022.
Yep.
Had they voted, Carrie Lake would have been in office. I would have been in office. You know, all of the Republicans would have been in office, and we wouldn't be faced with
Right.
what was going on right now. So,
And we wouldn't have it locally, the abortion issue,
correct.
because we would have had a stronger government locally, because we had a statehood law that was reversed because of one Republican that
Mhm.
voted with the Democrats.
Yep. And the thing is that he was voting to save the Republican Party. Do not save the Republican Party. Do not do that for us. We will speak for ourselves. We will do for ourselves. Just vote for your
Vote for what's right.
your
Your
faith,
values.
your values.
Right? It goes back to our values. I mean, what good did the Bible says, what good is it to gain the whole world if you lose your own soul?
Exactly.
It's no good.
So the thing is that, and then so we've covered family. Now the freedoms that are taking place. One of the things that I have witnessed in firsthand. I'm a J6er. My son's January 6th, and tomorrow he's going to be turning himself into prison. The thing is that he was lied about when Michael Brown, federal agent, walked into the grand jury and said that my son entered into the Capitol, fought with Capitol Police, and killed Brian Sicknick. That he literally was the person who took a fire extinguisher, hit him over the head, and murdered him. That's what he was.
That's what your son is being accused of?
That's what he was accused of. Now,
but since then,
we get to the trial, and all of a sudden, all three of those charges are dropped. He didn't enter into the
Why?
Capitol, and he didn't fight with Capitol Police, and he didn't kill Brian Sicknick because Brian Sicknick died of a brain aneurysm the next day, and it was not J6 related, and he had no head trauma. In fact, we actually have video of him walking down the hallway at the very time that they said that he was being murdered, and so none of that was true.
so they
And-
lied.
So they lied, and that's how they got a no-knock warrant served on him, where they entered into his home on February the 4th, and they tore the front end of his house out, flashbanged him and his dog, and then
Wow.
decided that he was such a threat. Well,
Why you got to flashbang a dog?
exactly, and the thing is that Capo is such a loving dog. He is such
PETA should
a
be
good
up in
dog.
arms.
And the thing is that right, PETA's nowhere to be found. The attorneys weren't able to be found. So we go through this trial, and this trial, we have 4 Capitol Police officers that perjured themselves. They said that we
Wow.
were such a threat, that my son and I were such a threat that they couldn't turn their backs on us, that they didn't put us behind
Ridiculous.
behind them to protect us. Yet now we actually have video that shows that shows them pulling me behind the Capitol Police officers, because I had handed them a card and said, the kid that just kicked in 3 windows, punched 2 others, and what we later found out was Hunter Emke, that he had was the point of the spear, broke into the Capitol at that point, and was arrested. And I gave him my card that had my name, my phone number, and my email, and it said very distinctly that I have video and my son has video, and whenever it's time to prosecute him, let us know and we'll be able to do that. Well, here's the thing. They come to interrogate me after they've arrested my son, and he's in prison in the gulag. And they're asking me questions about Hunter Emke, and they get my information and stuff off my phone. And what happens is that we put that into evidence, and yet they said that they were such a threat, so they perjured themselves. So now we have evidence that they perjured themselves. So here's a pattern. They lied about him at the beginning. Now they've lied in the trial. Then we go to the sentencing because the three things that he was charged with, the 1512C2, which is the interruption of a congressional Senate hearing, okay, that was picked up by the Supreme Court. When it was picked up by the Supreme Court, then they had to stay his sentencing until they ruled. Well, now what's happening is that they said, nope, can't apply that. And so his felony was dropped. So now he has 2 parking tickets, basically. The misdemeanors are equivalent of a parking ticket. We go into sentencing, and they wanted to have him serve 2 years in prison, okay, up to 5 years in a halfway house there in Washington, D.C., 2 to 5 years, somewhere around in there. Here's what gets me. $212,179 restitution on there. They want to fine him that kind of money. $100,000 for each of the misdemeanors. And then $12,179 for the amount of money that he had gotten off of givesendgo.com/Ryan Zink. They were going to take that, said he had profited off of the J6, and so therefore he should not have that money. His attorney said, no, we have a receipt right here, $12,179. Every penny's gone to us. He's not profited 1 cent. And that's the thing. If you go and you donate to givesendgo.com/Ryan Zink, every dime goes to his attorneys. He's not here to profit. Neither am I. If you go to thinkzink.vote and you donate to my campaign, 100% of those contributions go to my campaign. We're not going to set like my opponent, who has been given dark money through cryptocurrency, and then also Act Blue, and she has $3 million, plus she's worth $10 million, and she's never owned a business. She's never had anything at all whatsoever.
So let's talk about your opponent. What is her platform versus yours?
So the thing is that her failed policies here as the second vice mayor in Phoenix, she was sued twice by Governor Katie Hobbs, which is a Democrat. Had to sue 2 Democrats, Kate Gallego and Yasmin Asari, had to sue them to clean up the homeless situation downtown.
So she's partly responsible for the homeless crisis.
Correct. And she's also
she's running for Congress.
And she's running for Congress.
That doesn't sound like a qualifying
That doesn't sound like anything we want, right?
No, I'd fire her if I was an
well,
employer.
and here's the thing.
Wait, I think I am an employer.
Yeah. So here's the other thing that gets me. She's so proud of the fact that she is supported by all of the labor unions. Arizona is a right to work state. You don't need to have a labor union. And what do? They take money that you work very hard, and then they turn around and give it to the Democrats, and stuff.
That's
so
true.
these unions are Democratic supportive. So these are things that are the biggest difference. I want you to go and work, and if you have something, the EOC will protect you. You have attorneys that will then protect you as well. There's laws already in place for all of this. Yep. And so the other is that she's all for open borders.
Now that's not good. We know that, right, Arizonans?
That's it.
Especially in the South Phoenix community.
Well, and that's
the
reason
Latino
why,
community.
And she was wanting all of the homeless downtown, and that's where all the homeless were at. So these were things that she then was supportive of. She doesn't have a problem with the fentanyl and the deaths that are taking place here because of if she's for the open borders, then she's for this as well. She's for human trafficking, sex trafficking, and everything else that's going on. So
let's summarize. So she's been vice mayor during this entire pandemic we've had of the fentanyl coming in, homelessness, the child sex trafficking. That has all been happening on her watch.
Correct.
And now she wants to run for Congress.
That's right.
And how do you feel about sex trafficking and the fentanyl crisis and the homelessness?
So one of the things that I sat down and I took a look at, and DACA, are dreamers. They pay $500 to $600 a year just to stay in this country.
And they have
Okay.
no voting rights.
And no voting rights, no gun
And they've been
rights, no nothing.
promised residence or citizenship for how long with the Democrats?
I mean,
Ever.
forever.
Forever.
And so one of the things is that equates to $580 million every year in a slush fund.
Yep.
What happens to that money? So let me do this. Let's do this. Let's take that money and let's finish the wall here in
Right,
Arizona. We can
right.
finish it. We can bolster the Border Patrol and the ICE, and we can make sure that they have the funding and the support and the employment that it's going to take to secure our borders. Then on top of that, we have attorneys that we now start to employ through that money. And we then have a pathway to citizenship that shouldn't go any further than 5 years. 2 to 5 years. That's if you don't know the language and it takes you a little bit longer to learn the English language. And then you have to learn really bad things like how our government's set up, our Constitution, our Bill of Rights.
Speak the language.
Oh, yeah.
Speak English.
Exactly. It's these fundamental issues that they have that they will learn, and then they have 100 questions that they have to answer, and then once they pass that, they become a citizen of the United States. These people are very, very supportive of our country. They want to make sure
Right.
that our country is protected, and so they do it the right way. Here's the thing: Biden right now has an executive order that he wants to put and write into place before he leaves, which will legalize every illegal in the United States to make them citizens so that they can now replace the Hispanic and Black vote, because y'all woke up and you started voting Republican, and they're so power hungry that they want to make sure that they replace you with other people that have no idea and no concept of what our country is all about, and why this country is the best country. Even if you hate this country, you don't leave.
So what I'm hearing is you all advocate for the Latino Americans that have been here, that we're citizens, so we deserve all of those rights.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
not those coming over the border. Because I know what I'm hearing that a lot of the illegals are getting all of the services and draining the community services
Mhm.
from our Latin Mexicanos that
Exactly.
actually been here and are American citizens. So you will help with that crisis
Oh,
that
absolutely.
is going on. That's what people want to hear. We need candidates that want to fight for us, for Americans, America first. And that's what you are, an America first candidate.
Well, and the other thing is we need to get away from Native American, Latino American, African American. We're just Americans. The thing is that going back to my biblical roots, okay, as a pastor, we're related. You know that 8 people got off a boat. When Noah, when that family got off the boat, there was no one in the world at all. 8 people is what populated the entire world. And so the thing is that we're related. We need to get past the skin color. The thing is that it should go back to what Martin Luther King said. It should be the content of the
someone's
character
Mhm.
instead of the color of their skin.
Mhm.
And that's where we need to set down. So that's one of the things that I'm pushing and I stand on as a platform. The other is that what's coming to a neighborhood near you is this. We have what we're calling Operation Landslide. Operation
Yeah,
Land.
Eli talked about that earlier.
Yes, and
Mhm.
so what we're going to do is we're going to have caravans. I've got a big flag that has my face on there. Sorry,
Your mug.
I want a
that's
big
it.
flag with my face on
I
it.
wouldn't want one with mine.
So, and it's going to have, and I've got my big tent here, and it has Jeff Zink for Congress. The thing is that we're going to be stirring up, and we're going to be. We need as many volunteers as we possibly can. And if you've got a car, you can come join the caravan
And some gas.
and some gas and stuff. And the thing is that let me know if because
How can they reach you
Biden
to get a hold of that?
economics is really hard.
Mhm.
So we're looking for some donations, and we got 1 or 2, and so I'm going to be able to help with gas, all right, as
Aw.
well.
And
No,
so
that's a good
that's
point,
something
yeah.
that we're going to,
Yeah.
you know, I'm trying to absorb and take this as best I can.
Yeah.
And the thing is that we're going to come out to your neighborhood. We've got candy we're going to give to the kids if the parents
Kind of
let
like the
us.
old-fashioned ice cream truck. Remember when they used to come
Oh
to
yeah,
the neighborhoods?
yeah, I did.
I love
A
that.
freedom truck. It
Yeah.
has candy and
a
flags.
freedom caravan.
That's right.
I love it.
And so we're all about you know, talking to people. We're gonna have my palm cards. We're gonna have that one card that I gave you
Oh yeah.
earlier,
The little
The
quiz.
scratch
the
off.
little scratch off.
Mhm.
We're gonna have that. We're gonna pass them out and stuff. And the main thing is that we need to sit down and help support people and have them understand that they're conservative Republicans.
Right.
Yes.
They're not radical, left-leaning, lunatic
That's not the same
Democrats. That's
party.
not the same party. You know, I was talking with the Kennedys team
Mhm.
earlier, and what they stand for. And the Kennedys have put two of their family members on the altar of sacrifice,
Mhm.
and they've had a nation that did not
Is Matt leaving?
prevented them from you know, doing the things that they need. So one of the things is that I'm going to wrap up so we can
Yeah,
get
we need to get Matt in
we need to
here.
get Matt in here so that he can
Go
talk.
stop him, Stephanie.
So and yeah, I'll stick Stephanie on it.
we'll just swap out real quick when he
And,
gets back.
But the thing is that you know, we need to vote up and down the ticket from Donald J. Trump, J.D. Vance, Kerry Lake, Jeff Zink, you know, Kelly Cooper, Abe Hamadeh. We need to keep our current Republicans that are already in congressional office, and all of us need to go in with the fury that we're going to right the ship that
Mhm.
is going down. This high inflation, high gas prices, high food prices, and everything. We can guarantee that when Donald Trump gets into office, no taxes on overtime. How much money is that going to go into people's pocket now?
That would be sweet.
You know,
I mean, as a stay-at-home mother, I get so much overtime, but
yeah,
You don't get paid for it.
you don't get paid for
it's
that,
all
though.
overtime.
That's it. So, but anyway, is Matt running around here yet? So we can get him.
He's over there.
Okay. So let's get Matt over here so he can take my spot. But the great thing is that be looking in the neighborhoods for Operation Landslide, because we've got a surprise. And like I said, we're going to be doing things like you know, candy to the kids. We're going to be passing out flyers and stuff of where the
You need to
candidates
get one of
stand.
those like shirt cannon guns and just like shoot
And
those
shoot
zinc
'em.
shirts out at the. You know what I'm talking about? Like they do it at the
Absolutely.
ball games. But
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
but anyway,
Okay. Well, Matt's coming.
is he
so-
coming?
Yeah, he's
All right.
coming.
So I'm gonna get
you'll
out of
hop
here,
on.
and I'm gonna
pick
let.
up, he's gonna get his daughter, so maybe we could just take a little quick break. I don't know if you guys do live break segments or not.
We don't, but we could just chit chat while he's doing that. Or are you gonna go take a break with him? Because I can chit chat by myself.
Yeah, you can talk to yourself.
Okay, I love
right.
to talk to
So
myself.
we are talking here. I don't know
Okay,
what
wait,
our
am I
producer
talking
wants.
here too?
I don't know.
Okay,
This is
so-
the camera. So
Hello,
maybe we
camera.
get Stephanie in here. Stephanie Zink, come here, Stephanie. I
Eh.
want you all to meet the power and heart and soul behind the campaign.
We've interviewed Stephanie
because
before,
you know
actually,
what?
because
Behind every great man is a great woman, and that is Stephanie
fantastically
Zink.
great.
All right, I'll fill in.
Oh.
Matt's
Oh, here comes
coming.
Matt. Here
All
comes
right,
Matt.
Matt.
So
That's coming. Well, quickly,
I would say
Stephanie.
whoever wants to. She's not. Her mic's not on, anyways. But
Oh.
whoever wants to hop on first. Okay, here comes Matt. Here
He's-
comes Matt.
he's
and we
bringing
can,
his-
I can
his-
finally
Is
find
this your
out.
mascot, Matt? Okay.
Come on. Let's see what what's the name of your mascot, Matt? Mascot Matt. I think so.
Pistol Penny?
Nope, I can't hear you.
Okay.
Try again.
Sorry.
It's
Can you hear
okay.
me better now?
Lift it up. Let's see.
Can you hear me now?
I don't know. Can you hear him?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Yes.
I can hear you.
Okay.
Awesome.
This is Pistol Penny. We call her Penny for short.
How cute.
She is
Sweet.
one of 3 miniature bull terriers that we have. So we just
Aw.
had a litter of 8 a few months ago.
Oh my gosh. Like you're not busy
How old
enough.
is she?
I don't tell you about it, right? It was perfect timing too, right?
Oh man.
She is about 6 months. So
Aw.
we kept the male because I show dogs. So we,
Oh, do
we
you
go into
really?
AKC
Oh.
dog shows. Her mother.
There's a big dog show in Awatuki, at the end of the month.
No, I didn't know.
Yeah, there
Is
is.
it AKC?
I don't know.
I'll
I
have to
just
look-
know that we have one and we're going to be there handing out your flyers.
Now that you reminded me, there's actually like not an AKC dog show, but at Paradise Valley Park, 40th Street and Bell Road. I will be there tomorrow, Sunday, with taking our dogs. So if anybody's in the area, feel free to stop by and say hi.
Awesome.
But yeah, we have 3 miniature bull terriers, and we kept a boy because he was just a stud, and we wanted to show him.
Yeah.
But she was just so sweet, we had to keep her
Aw.
too. So
I bet the kids love it too.
oh, they do.
I
Is
can't
she
believe
named
you.
after Pistol Pete?
Oh
Or
no, Pistol
just-
Penny. So that we started a kennel, and our kennel name is Desert Desperados.
Oh, okay. So,
So
it's
it
more in
went
the
along
theme.
with the theme of Desert
Okay.
Desperados.
I thought he was like a huge.
I don't know how he
basketball
does
fan.
it. I mean, he's at tons of events. He works full time. He does his social media. He has 3 children and a wife. Do you even recognize your family anymore?
Do they recognize you?
Well, like I say, it's a short-term sacrifice
Yeah.
for a long-term gain. We all had a conversation together before I got in this race because
Okay.
we knew that it was going to be a sacrifice.
Oh.
And yeah, it's tough. I haven't gone to my daughter's soccer practice in the last
Oh,
month, but we believe in our cause and we believe in what we're doing, fighting for our city. So
Thank you for that. Go ahead and share your platform and your passion and why you got into the race.
yeah, my name is Matt Evans. I'm running for mayor of Phoenix, and I got into this race because this is my hometown. And I really feel like the leaders in our city have just failed Phoenix. The homelessness crisis is absolutely out of control. And I work in tech, and we don't come from money. My fiance is a stay-at-home mom, and a couple of years ago, I picked up a second-time job driving Uber, and it really just opened up my eyes. It gave me a perspective that I normally wouldn't see every day driving around the valley, specifically South and West Phoenix. There are just parts of our city that literally look like a third-world country.
Mm.
And I did what anybody would do. I reached out to my city councilman. I tried to go to community centers, town halls, and really take a research approach to understanding the root cause of the homelessness and how we could address it. And I just felt like the leaders of our city, they just don't get it or they don't care. And we had a conversation with their family about moving out of the city of Phoenix. And we just thought, no, like this is our hometown. This is where I was born and raised. I'm not going to move away from the problem. At some point, we have to stand up and
Right.
fight back. And that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm willing to do anything and everything I can to make a difference. I'm trying to be the change I seek. And if that means running for mayor of Phoenix, then so be it.
Awesome. Now, I think I read that you actually ran for councilman too, right?
Yeah, and it's 22
years ago?
Yeah,
Yep.
2022. I ran as an independent actually against Jim Waring in City Council District 2. So that was right after I kind of discovered the whole homelessness crisis.
Yep.
And he was kind of, I like him. He's a nice guy if you meet him, but he was approaching his term limits. And again, I just didn't feel like he was really being the vocal activist that we need for our city and for our
Right.
district. And I didn't really know what I was doing at the time. I kind of just signed up.
Yeah.
Nothing like
Love
running
it.
for mayor. It's a completely different story this time around.
You
But
dipped
yeah,
your toe in the water though.
yeah, I did. I got my feet wet. I think I went to 1 or 2 events, but I put some street signs up, but it was nothing like this.
I
And-
mean, tell you, we discovered Matt. I learned about Matt through a friend of mine, Denise, and she was on Twitter or X, and it was like full grassroots, 100%. And I'm a grassroots activist myself, and that's what this is all about. The heartbeat of America is really about the forgotten man and woman, and that's what it's about. Like you mentioned earlier, either the politicians don't care, or they're not doing anything, or they're incompetent, or all of the above. And it takes someone like Matt to go out and just say, you know what, I care. I'm going to put myself out there, my family. I'm going to do something about it. You did it in running for council, but it was a great experience. You're here. You got on the ballot. You're hitting it hard. And you know what? We need to elect Matt for a lot of reasons. One, because Kate is just deep state, okay? And she's
Yeah.
communist, commie Kate. That's what I call her. But we need somebody like Matt who's going to actually advocate for the people. He's one of us. He's been, he's working the jobs. He's trying to feed his family. He's trying to fix it so that America can look like it used to when I was younger and probably when you were younger, right?
Yeah, thank you for saying that. Sorry to interrupt you. I just do the
No,
selfie.
that's
But
fine,
you're
yeah.
right. You speak to this is a true grassroots movement. Before I got on the ballot, I was literally knocking on thousands of doors myself, handing out thousands of palm cards because I believed in my cause. And it was just at the time kind of a one-man team. But it is just, I said this the other day, I really feel like I'm living in a dream to see my entire city, my entire community stand up for me and stand with me.
What can we do for you to help you get across that line?
To get across this line right now is to spread the word. Go on my social media, follow me, like my posts, comment on them, share them. If you have money, please go to mattforphoenix.com. There's a link to donate. Every dollar counts to get my name out there, especially since our current mayor, Kate Gallego, is refusing to debate me, which I think is a real shame. There's 1.6 million people in the city of our
Yep.
Phoenix, and she's not giving the opportunity of the people, the voters, to hear from the only 2 candidates that are running and what their policy will be for the next 4 years. If you don't have money, don't worry about it. I don't come from money myself. I work 2 jobs. I know what it's like. Just spread the message and reach out to me, and then we'll put you in positions to volunteer, whether that's helping put up signs or pushing out palm cards. Yeah.
And talking about the Latino community, okay,
Hey.
we're all about chisme, ¿verdad? So
Yeah,
you know, you
sorry.
got your little
I know.
carnicerias, y la barbacoa, all that stuff, and la baile. Talk about Matt Evans. Say, hey, there's this young man, this white guy. He wants to run, and he wants to run to fix things in our city. So that's what we need to do. So talk to your friends. This is a grassroots movement. Vote for Matt on your ballot. It's not going to have Republican or Democrat next to it because the city and mayor race is not like that. But Matt Evans is the man that you need to put out there. We need to push more of Matt, but I think we need to start a hashtag movement. Hashtag debate Matt or something like that.
I've been doing hashtag Matt for mayor, but we can do.
Well, no, Matt for mayor, but we need Kate Gallegos to debate you.
Yeah, no debate, Kate is what I've been calling.
No
her.
debate,
No
Kate.
No debate, Kate.
So
right?
has there been
No
a day
debate.
scheduled? Because even if you don't have a contender debating, sometimes PBS will just have you on as a town hall or something like that.
Yeah, and that's the unfortunate reality is PBS, the Arizona Clean Elections
They're not
Commission.
willing to do it.
None of them are willing to do it. And that's the
All
fight that we
right.
go against as a regular guy coming off the streets with no name recognition. They don't want to give us the opportunity. And so that's why we as a community have to rise above and hold these leaders accountable. I'm sick and tired of incumbents
Yep.
always winning. And
Yep.
that's why the truth.
And no change.
Yeah, no
And
change.
That's
It's just,
why they went. It's rigged.
it's political
you know,
strategy,
yeah.
you know? And so when I am elected mayor of Phoenix, I will make a city ordinance where if you want to run for the city council, you will be required to participate in a debate.
Absolutely.
And the city of Phoenix will host it. So we don't have to rely on these organizations like the Clean Elections Commission.
Right.
And there's nothing clean about the Clean Elections Commission. Let's just be clear on that. Same with the media, you know, ABC
Right.
15, AZ Family, even Fox, NBC News, every one of them has reached
Radio
out to me.
stations.
Yeah, they have. And all the only radio station KFNX has given me a chance. Shout out to them. But even KFYI, KTAR, they just want advertising dollars. That's all. They literally said, we'll put you on a radio station if you want to pay for advertising.
Jeez.
Yeah, so there's a, you know, and that's why we have to stop these millionaire mayors, these millionaire politicians. How can anybody ever, you know, just want to be the change they seek
the
and run for
everyday
office
man
if they
can't
don't?
do
Yeah,
it.
it's a
Yeah.
shame, but I'm showing you that you can. My life's mantra is where there's a will, there's a way, and I will show
absolutely.
you that you can.
Absolutely. Amen. That's a spirit that we need. We need that spirit. We need to get going. People, gente, rise up. We need to do hashtag Matt for mayor, hashtag debate Matt. Everybody go on your social media, blast it all over,
Yes.
call PBS, email
Tag
them.
Kate, why won't you debate?
Yeah,
We
why won't
want
you
my
debate Matt?
vote.
You know, I mean, think about it. Any
Let me
kind
hear
of
from
job
you.
you interview for, or if you just apply, aren't they going to want to talk to you before they hire you? Who would just hire anybody off the street? So
Yeah.
she's asking us to rehire her as a mayor, but yet we have no voice into how she's going to run. We can't ask her any questions. We cannot hold her accountable for all of the homelessness that we see, the lockdowns that she imposed, all of the millions of dollars that are flooding in the city of Phoenix that aren't going out to the right areas. Our vets are suffering. Our homeless shelters are overpopulated. Shall I go on?
And let's remind the people of Phoenix, Kate Gallego, the current mayor, has been on the city council for the last 10 years. So why should we expect any difference in the next 4 years than from what she's done in the last 10?
That's right. That's
Exactly.
right.
There's no.
She's failed us. Homelessness is out of control. Our streets have never been unsafe. Before she was in the city council, the city of Phoenix was affordable. It's never been more as unaffordable as it is today. And it's just a shame.
Well, you know, I have family that lives in the West Side, and I go to their homes, and Maribel is really, really neglected. And I tell my family, like, where are your representatives? You deserve a street that doesn't produce a blowout on a tire. Seriously.
Yeah.
Or whenever you park, you end up getting a flat because you're running all over stuff. Nobody cleans the streets. Nobody cares about the inner city. Nobody cares about the West Side. No one cares about the slums. But Matt cares. Because you know what? He's a regular person like us. I dare every politician out there, get your butt out to your districts. And I hope to see you at the Capitol when I'm down there, because I will question you. That's my family that you're neglecting. You have no problem getting their tax dollars, but you have every problem fixing the issues. I'm really upset at that. We need somebody like Matt to get in there because he's one of us. He'll bring the fix and he'll get rid of the fixers.
Amen. We need someone like Patty in there too.
That's right.
Preach.
When you get in
Come on,
there, you
let's
need
go.
Patty as your hype woman, Matt, to just keep you on track.
I'm grassroots. I hate it when corruption takes over the real people, the grassroots, la gente. Estamos aquí abajo, pero no por siempre. Valiente
Oh,
adelante la
She's on it now,
gente.
Matt.
Well, I love it. And everybody watching and the people of Phoenix, this is our one chance to return the power to the people of our city. So go out and vote Matt Evans for Phoenix mayor. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks for joining
Thank
us,
you
Matt.
so much,
Guys, take
Glad
Matt.
care.
you're able to be out here. And thank you, Penny, for being with us.
She's so good.
I know. She was such a good girl.
She's so perfect. Yeah.
Matt was actually one of the speakers at Lincoln Day Luncheon,
Yes,
and it
he
was
was.
really great to,
Yes, he
to
was.
see him and hear from him there. I didn't get a chance to talk to him that day because he was kind of in and out.
Well, he went to the SRP luncheon in hopes that
He
Kate
was hoping to talk to
Gallegos
Kate
was
right
going to
there.
be there. She was a no-show.
She was a
again.
no-show.
Yep, she was a
See, I knew that he was.
She's doing
late,
the Biden strategy and the Kate strategy. Just a
Just-
no-show everywhere.
just the hype.
Bienvenidos. I'm Patty Porter. ¿Cómo estás?
Yeah,
Doing good. Muy bien, gracias. Gracias. And you're running
I
for?
did not know.
I'm not running for
I did not
anything.
know
Oh,
that
you're not?
Gimli
I'm
spoke
running
any
away.
Spanish.
You didn't know
so
Gimli spoke? I
very,
spoke a
very
little
excited.
poquito.
Yes.
I lived
okay,
I
awesome.
lived in Guadalajara for I don't know 9 months.
Okay, well, tell us who you are.
So my name's Jason. I work with Turning Point. So we're
Okay.
kind of the founder of the feast.
Oh,
today.
you're
We're-
Jason. I'm
Yes.
Patty Porter. I
I-
talked with you from LD12.
Yes,
that's right.
Jason,
Remember
aka
that?
Gimli.
Yes.
Yes.
Face to a name.
Face to a name. So
Yep.
nice. So we put this together today. We obviously things don't always. There are people. I've heard some of the conversations today. Unfortunately, there are people working against the good always, right?
Yes.
Unfortunately, out there. And so, but today's the first kernel of a feast, of an outreach, right? This is what I
Nice.
think is important. I think, to me, there's the reason that my partner and I put this particular event together for this particular area. I have a lot of Latino friends, and I think that there is a movement
There's a huge
away
movement,
from,
Yep.
and I think a lot of the old school Republicans don't. Let's just be honest. Some of them are racist. Let's just not call a spade a spade, right? The rhinos are. It is what it is. And I mean on both sides of every skin color, right?
Rhinos.
I mean
Right.
honestly on both sides.
Call it
that
like
don't
it is,
want- call it
brother.
like
I
it
have
is,
no
right?
problem with that.
So
I was saying you're not going to get any pushback
yeah,
here.
right.
Not
So
from
and that's
me.
and so the point is that we have way more in common than we have.
Absolutely.
And that's why I
you're
call this
right.
a movement, not a
Traditionally,
party.
we have had the party just ignoring, and not just Latinos, blacks, just
Because they
people
thought
of
the vote
color.
was
Right,
gone,
it's
right?
like,
The vote is
oh,
gone. It's
right,
a
they're-
lost
they're-
cause.
It's not
they're-
gone though.
Yeah, they were gimmies
No.
for the
Yeah.
Dems for so long.
But
that
people,
they
so
didn't want
here's
to
what
try.
I love that you're wearing a Maha hat. And this is why I call it a movement. This is what I think is important. So
Maha MAGA.
it's a movement, not a party, because we're
That's right.
identifying with what we have in common, not what we disagree with.
Absolutely.
Right?
Bye, Matt.
It's not about,
Thank
hey, you
you.
do this wrong and I don't like that. It's
Right.
that, hey, we agree with this.
Together.
And we don't have to agree on everything, but this we have in common. It's family, it's friends, it's
Yes.
love, it's food, it's
It's a revolution.
yes.
Isn't
And
it?
so that's why we're here. And so what we're hoping to do is
And
we're
that's why
doing
people are passionate.
yes,
Mhm.
yes. Passion is what pushes it, right? And so anyway, that's the idea. That was what we're hoping for. I hope we do another one of these next year,
I
right?
hope so too.
Well, and so anyway, the point is that we're building a real ground game. That's what Turning Point is doing.
Yes, they're doing
Is
a good job.
Doing something that nobody else really has done. The Democrats have always had a great ground game, right?
Yes.
And it stays year round. Republicans show up sometimes in the election. So the real problem really is this. It's that we show up on a good day at
Mhm.
65%. They show up at 85%. Well, it's hard to win that way, right? So what we're going to do right now is we're going to do an app training. We're going to show everybody how to download this app that Turning
Okay.
Point is using that goes out to engage those low propensity voters, the ones that are registered Republican but haven't shown up in the last two elections.
Mhm.
And we're going to do it right in this neighborhood. And
Okay.
we're going to show you how it works.
Yay.
We're going to send some folks out. They're going to go knock on some doors, some Republicans, and those that have come back and were willing to go out and do it, we're going to give them some swag, some books, some shirts,
Nice.
right? And have some
Yep,
fun today,
yep.
right? Because it's about spreading the message, and we don't want to go convert people. It's about folks that have just lost the,
Right.
again, like Latinos leaving the Democratic Party. They're not leaving anybody. The Democrats lost the plot.
Mhm.
Right. And some of these Republicans, probably the same thing. It's the Republicans kind of lost the plot for a while.
Mhm.
So we got to get those people, this movement together.
Yeah, because a lot of them, I think, have lost hope. They're just
Yeah.
like, why bother?
No, I
I'm not
completely
going to
agree.
vote anymore because they don't care.
No.
Our vote doesn't count,
Like,
et cetera, et cetera.
Exactly. And so if we build this movement right, where everybody can become an activist once I show you how to use this app, you can, in your neighborhood from your couch,
Mhm.
you can download the app, open it up and send texts, phone cards,
Really?
phone calls. You can send
Wow.
postcards. So we have people that'll have like a group of their friends, their girlfriends come over, they have a box of wine and,
Yep.
and some postcards. Everybody sits, they play some music, have some fun. Everybody
Mm.
fills out 10 postcards and sends them out real quick. We
Fantastic,
got
yeah.
20 days. We can make a difference
We
in
have
20 days.
to.
If we have
Absolutely.
100 people that listening to this that go out in their neighborhood and download the app and then have a group of people come over, that can make a difference.
Mhm.
Do you know how many votes we lose by when we lose?
No.
Like 8,000, 6,000 per
Oh, it's always
district.
small. Yeah.
That's
Look, Abe Hamadeh was
2,000,
280 votes.
280 votes.
Yeah.
So listen, everybody can make a difference.
Yes.
Voting is not enough this time.
Yep,
This is why,
exactly.
literally why we're here.
Yep.
Right. And so
To get people
we had
involved.
some,
Let's do
again,
it.
trying to get the voices together that agree and have some Hispanic candidates. Next time we'll hopefully have some more of those. But, and I think Sean's here somewhere. We're going to have
Sandra
yeah,
Hedges,
yeah,
is
she's
she
here
still
somewhere.
here?
I hope so. We were wanting to have her speak. So I hope she didn't take
Yeah.
I
off
think
yet.
she was here.
But anyway, so that's the point. So
And
anyway,
Ayala?
if everybody
He's
could do
still
me a
here.
favor right now. So if guys, everybody that came, if you guys could kind of crowd over this way, Jeff, can you corral the corral the troops over this way, please? So if everybody will, I guess we're going to do both. Can everybody hear me now? Test, test. If we could corral the crowd this way, we're going to do an app training real quick, show everybody how to download Turning Point's app so that you can become an activist in your neighbor, your circle, your group of friends. That's really what Turning Point's doing right now. That's kind of amazing, in my opinion. Okay.
I think they're doing a great job. It's about time we started playing like the Democrats.
Oh, listen, if you look at some of the registration data right now, did you guys see that CNN report where we're +3 right now if you include independents?
That's great.
We lose at we win at -1. We're +3 right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
We have Diana Jones.
We
here.
have to
She's a
try
candidate.
everything.
But yeah, we got to get folks out there. So listen,
Yeah,
if you're at home listening along, here's what you can go ahead and get prepared and get ahead. Get your phone out. And whether you have a Google phone or an iPhone, either one. So go to your Play Store. If you have an Android phone, go to your Play Store. Or if you are a iPhone user, go to your Apple Store. And so we'll give everybody a few minutes to kind of get that. We're moseying some folks over from the crowd from the event today. And so what we're actually doing, I don't know if you guys heard that, but we're going to send some folks out here from, we're at a park in South Phoenix, and we're going to send some folks out from here. And the way this app works, once I show you how to download it, is we engage low propensity Republicans only. We're not asking anybody to go convert anyone. Right. These are folks that just haven't shown up in the last couple of elections. And we give you the scripting right in front of you. You walk the neighborhood. It literally gives you a map to go follow. So we're going to send some folks out today while we're having fun. They're going to come back and report how they did. And we're going to give away some swag for folks doing that. Everybody's holding up their app. I love it. All right. So here's what we're going to do. Open up your Play Store, wherever it's at, and you're going to look for the TP Action is the name of the app. So go to your search or whatever. So open it up and it just type in TP Action.
Not the TP USA, right? The TP Action.
Yep.
The blue one.
Yep.
That's what I'm hearing.
It is blue with white writing.
Okay.
I want to make sure I'm giving you the right one. Yep. It says TP Action. It's blue with white writing. And so then once you get that, when it first opens, this is the trick. So does everybody have it? Is everybody there? Hold up your screens there around everybody. Somebody filming you. Hold up your phones there. Show us. Awesome. All right. So what you've got there when you first open it is a bunch of stuff there's some tweets and things that are cool to have, but it's not really getting active yet. Up in the top left, you'll see 3 little dots, right? Or 3 little arrows. Click on those. All right. And then from those 3 arrows, it's going to ask for your personal information. Okay. So you got to put that in because it's going to geolocate you. So without that, you won't be able to do that. And so we'll give everybody a few minutes to do that. If you click on those, and then it's going to send you a text. So while everybody's doing that, so that's really what Turning Point Action does. We do have the Latino Coalition.
I'm part of Latino Coalition.
Oh, you are? I didn't know you were part of the
I
Latino
am,
Coalition.
yes.
That's awesome. So this is what we do is that we want to get events like this put together and get our Latino Coalition and get all of our, I'm trying to build a veterans coalition.
I'm also on Mom's Coalition.
Nice. And isn't it nice? So have you done some specific events with our coalitions? Like we're just a group of your friends doing a mom.
Yeah.
It's so awesome, isn't it? So
Yes.
it's about speaking to people who speak your language.
Exactly.
So I met Paula. Paula's over here. I don't know if you guys will get a
Hi,
chance to meet Paula.
Paula.
Paula is one of the most awesome people ever. She's a big
We're going to
mom.
talk
Awesome,
with her.
Paula.
Oh,
We're going
yeah.
to talk. We talked to some of her other people that she introduced us to, but
She
we're going to talk to Paula in a bit.
She brought our little field army today. It's her
Yes.
folks. It's her Maha army that's going out knocking doors for us today, to be honest. So we got to thank them. There they are. Yeah, we want you, and we got some other folks we'll maybe introduce you to as well. So, but that's what it's about, right? It's about sharing the love and all that. All right. So everybody's hopefully had a few minutes to download it, and they've sent their text off and got it back. Once you do that, now when you go back in, and when you click those 3 little arrows, you should see up in the top left, it'll say chase 100 ballots.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You don't have to necessarily do that yet. Of course, if you want to, we'd love you to volunteer to do that, but you can just click help knock doors. And if you click help knock doors, you'll see a green button that says voters near me. And if you click that, it will open up and show you all of the Republican registered only that haven't shown up in the last 2 elections. And if they have their ballot, it'll actually even have a little box next to it with a little ballot saying they have their ballot. And so if you click on them, there's a map above it. You'll see it says open map. If you click on that where it says open map, it literally opens them up and you can just go walk the neighborhood. Now, here's why I love this. For me, this is what kind of got me thinking about it. I came to volunteer for Charlie's organization because I started thinking about these are folks that come over to my house for hamburgers and steaks and complain about politics. But you haven't voted, Bob.
Yeah.
Remember, Bob, when we had that political discussion and you got mad at me and insulted me when I was buying the steaks and the booze? You didn't even vote, you jack, right?
Yeah.
So anyway,
Please
but it
invite
does
me next time you're buying the steaks. Okay, thank you.
So anyway, but it does give you, and here's the thing, you just click on them and it gives you a script to use and buttons to use to move that ballot forward. All of this is about getting ballots in boxes, right? So that's one option. If you click the back button, I'll show you a few others in this app that really do make it amazing. What I love about this app. So if you go back, click your back arrow, click back again, and you're back to where it says Turning Point Action at the top, and you have some selections. You'll see a big red button in the middle that says Super Chase. Join a Super Chase.
I see
So
it.
this is where we have a schedule. It'll take you to a calendar that has a schedule of all of our scheduled events like this, where you can go to somebody else's neighborhood and do the same thing. Go volunteer. In fact, we have one lady here. Hopefully she gets a second to say hi to somebody. She came all the way here from California to chase ballots for us.
Oh, yeah,
Scarlett,
we
yes,
talked
we
Yes.
talked to her
Right?
earlier.
So,
There she
you know,
is.
that's the kind of thing is, again, everybody can become
That's
an activist,
awesome.
right? And so, but there's other options. So you can make phone calls. You can sit right on your couch and eat popcorn and become an activist, right? You can send postcards, as I'd mentioned. There's also something here I want to share. This is important for all the communities, but particularly communities where getting the truth of what's being voted on is hard to get to. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Click the scorecard. If
Okay.
you click the scorecard and then you click on Arizona, it takes every one of your local and national reps and gives them a score. We explain why and how we score them. And if you click on the rep after you get in there, you can play around in there and we can do a little more deep dive training on it. It will
Oh, okay.
it will absolutely give you not only their vote, right, but their voting history for their entire career. For their entire
I wonder what
career.
Biden's looks like.
And here's the other thing that I love about it. It not only gives you their entire career, but you can click on each bill they've ever voted on and read the bill.
Nice.
Wow.
I
Yeah.
like that.
So anyway, really important
That's
voter
some
information.
kind of accountability that I know elected officials are not loving.
They're not loving that, right?
I'm
And here
sure.
we update it weekly. Every week we update it. So
and
this
it's
is
federal or state.
yes.
Oh,
Only in the
nice.
battleground states do we have both. But you know, here in
Nice.
Arizona we got both. So I hope everybody got a chance to download that and see kind of what is some of the
Yeah.
beauties of this app. And again, once you download it, you don't need me, you don't need Turning Point, you don't need anything. You need to call a
Oh.
couple of your friends and say, hey, come over. We're gonna go knock doors. Like last week, we had some buddies over to my house. We had a few scotches, smoked a few cigars. To be honest, I'm Gimli. I'm an old boring white guy, and we went out and knocked some doors, right? But then next week we're gonna go to Bob's neighborhood, right? And we're gonna go knock on doors in his neighborhood.
Nice.
Right. And so, and that's how we
Yeah.
spread the love. That's how we spread the word. Okay. So, listen, we're going to send some folks out right now. They're going to come back and report later on how they did. We'll give away some swag. But thanks everybody for coming. Those of you that can hear me out there, we really do appreciate it. I hope your kids
you.
enjoyed the bouncy castle. I hope that, do you think they'll let me play in the bouncy? You think there's a weight limit?
Not with those shoes.
Yeah.
You know what?
Problem.
They would. There was a sign that said no dwarfs.
No dwarfs.
Sorry,
You know what?
Gimli.
With the height jokes, right to the height jokes. Love it.
No,
Love it.
these are
I know. I had to pull
I'm
it
not
on you.
mean. I swear.
I did
promise.
I did
A
that on
little mean.
purpose. I turned that on her on purpose. Thanks, guys. Listen, I appreciate you giving us the time. So I did want to mention, though, one thing. So if you don't know about this operation, it's called Operation Red Landslide, supporting your local representative, your local Republican candidates. So donate your ride. I think it's on the 21st of October.
That's Monday.
It's Monday. It's at 11 a.m. is a caravan lineup.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a website here? I don't have my old man eyes. Is
There
there something?
is.
Yeah,
There's not a website, but there was an email address. operationredlandslide@gmail.com. They're going to be taking off at 11 a.m. from the MCRC office in Chandler, 7030 East Oakland Street. And so that is that means that you probably want to get there at least around 10 to
Yep,
like
I would
set
agree.
up your ride, get all, get you comfy and find your place in line and all that stuff. And I do know that they are going to be having more of these. This is just the
Yes.
first one,
Yes.
first one of many. They're going to be doing these all the way up until the election day. It's going to be super fun. I can't make this one, but I can't wait to find out about the
They're
next
fun.
one.
I did the Prop 139 one on Saturdays that one of our other coworkers doing.
They do it in the morning, right?
in the morning.
Saturday
From they end up at
mornings.
Cesar Chavez over here, I think is where they end. And that's a lot of fun.
Where did that one start? Did it also start MCRC or just
No,
it
I
was
think
just
it
a park,
started in
right?
Tempe.
Yeah.
At
Okay.
Chandler.
Kiwanis Park in Tempe.
Kiwanis.
Oh, that's
Oh.
right. They did the one from
That would be.
Kiwanis.
I hope they do it in that same location coming back another time because that's.
We
perfect
tried to
for
get him
me.
to connect to this today, actually, but just timing. If you guys didn't know, we had a lot of events this week. It's been a.
It's going to be like
It's
that.
been a.
I heard
it's
that
been a
Turning
week.
Point has had a lot of events recently.
So listen, I'm on like hour 45, I think, in the last 3
can't
days. I'm not
My
kidding. you.
goodness.
I've been
That's
to Northern
crazy.
Arizona. So far, just this week, I've been to Northern Arizona, Tucson. By the way, the Tucson run, they shut down the 10. So that was an
Oh.
8-hour drive back because it
Oh,
was too
wow.
late. I was a miserable.
Oh my
Oh, no.
goodness.
And so anyway, yeah, I'm on like hour 40 and I don't know how many events. And then we had everything canceled today last minute. If you guys didn't know that, we had a food truck. It's been,
You're right. I heard the food
it's
truck
been a
canceled.
mess.
and
It's been a
stuff.
mess, but
So get you some
that's
coffee.
the thing. But that's the thing, right? It's
Uh-huh.
it's about passion. I'm not tired.
Just
Like
keep
Trump
going.
said, I'm not tired, man. I get 2 hours of sleep a night.
I don't know
I'm
how
ready
he
to go.
does
Give me
it.
another Red Bull and a cigar and let's go knock some doors, baby. Let's go make
Red
some
Bull and
friends.
cigars. Now you know.
Yeah, love it. Well, listen, I'm going to jump off. Thank you guys. We're going to get this chase going. Thank you
All
very
right,
much.
thank you so
Sounds
much.
great. I'm not sure what did we still have Ayala or Sandra Jerez here to speak to them because I'd wanted to talk to them. Josh Ayala is running for LD11 Senate, and Sandra Jerez is running for Roosevelt School Board, which is the school district for this area.
We
But
have
if not,
Diana
we
Jones
do
here.
have Diana Jones. She's running for LD22 Rep or Senate? Rep
We
or
line
Senate?
up at 11. We don't leave till 1.
Oh, you
Oh.
line up at 11.
And
Oh,
leave
okay.
departure time is 1.
Okay.
Diana,
Then we'll
did you want
definitely
to?
You want to hop on and say hello?
Did you want to talk about your race?
I got my kids here
You're in
today.
the Latino
so If you see
area.
me hugging tiny little people, they're my people. I created them. So that's what the people are for. The kids ate. They brought Turning Point brought canes, and pretty much everyone ate except me and Patty, I think. So
Hello, everyone. We're on the air here with Diana Jones. Miss Jones
check
is
your mic. Diana, see
running
if it
for
works.
State House of LD22, correct?
No, we
So
can't hear
that's
Diana.
that's the
Hold
west
on a
side
second.
of the valley. That is Avondale.
West Phoenix, Avondale, Tolleson, and a little bit of South Glendale.
There you go. So we have some candidates running that are patriots, America first, for the people, by the people,
Who are you
not
running with?
deep roots.
Who's your slate?
Steve
Rhinos.
Robinson is running for the Senate, and Blaine Griffin,
Is running with
otherwise
you
known as
for-
BJ,
He's running.
and myself are running for the House.
Very exciting.
Excellent. Excellent. So let's get
Yeah.
them on the ballot. Do you want to talk a little bit about your campaign and what drove you into the race? Why did you want to run?
Well, I wanted to run several years ago, but then my husband's Parkinson's got worse, and I became his caretaker, so wasn't able to run. But now that I don't have that burden, I shouldn't say a burden. It was,
That love effort.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's a good way to put it.
it is. It's taking care of somebody who's
That you care for deeply.
sick
and
like
it's-
that
yeah.
is
It's a
very
lot.
hard.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's not an easy job.
Yep.
But, I took the vow till death do us part.
Yep.
And my minister called me a good wife. And one day I said, yeah, but I'm not a Proverbs 31 wife. And that week, my husband called me a liar. He said I was a Proverbs
Oh,
31
that's
wife.
sweet. That's sweet. So we can see and hear in the background they're staging for their outreach with Turning
Yeah.
Point, getting the vote out with the
But,
local residents. So
But yeah, it's
what are you hoping to accomplish when you get to the House? What is this is what I don't run for office. I'm a volunteer, but what I am always interested in is what are you going to do when you get there?
I've been a volunteer too since 2016
But
over here.
What are you going to do when you get to the
I
House?
want to get our border closed.
Excellent. That's a politician that has a focus. She knows why she's running. So guess what that means? She's not going to be bought and paid for when the consultants, and there's a lot of lobbyists on Capitol Hill here in Phoenix every day. So Diana will know my job is to my constituents and to close the border.
I am self-funding my campaign right now.
Even better. No corruption here.
I do have a $200 donation from my brother-in-law back in Maine, but
That's okay.
most everything else is all my own funds that
Wow.
I've put into it.
That's a patriot right there.
And when people don't donate for you, you got to do something if you want to get on the ballot. And
Yes, absolutely.
so,
Yep. So thank you for that.
so
Yep. So the
and
election.
my other big thing is schools.
Okay.
The
What about schools?
listening to the opposition that BJ and I are up against?
Mhm.
All they talk about is wanting to do away with the ESA money and throw it to the
No.
public schools.
Hard.
Well, right now the ESA money is what, $7,500. The public schools get $14,000. So
Mhm.
ESA is cheaper,
Right.
but it's also better because parents have to pick the school that's going to work best for their students.
Right.
Right.
Now, a lot of what the Democrats are saying, though, is they're saying, well, now you're not funding the schools, which is not true because you're right. They get 14,000. So they only carving out part of that to follow the student, which is honestly kind of generous in my opinion, because I don't like paying for something I don't get a benefit for. Right. So as a parent, so my children went to public schools. Back in the day, it wasn't corrupt like it is right now and brainwashing your children into believing they're a girl when they're really a boy. So, but I think it's only fair. You pay taxes, you have to pay for your children. The money should follow the child. And why are we rewarding bureaucrats in an institution that is not producing the results we want? We are the consumer. Would you pay for a service that they mucked up for you? Say you had a plumber come in and instead of fixing your water leak, now you got a flood. Would that be okay? And that's kind of what's happening with our school system.
Right.
They're taking our money and they're creating all this indoctrination when we have a candidate that says, you know what, I'm going to fight for the parents to keep their funds so that they can support their own children.
My youngest daughter, well, my oldest daughter, her problem was she was dyslexic, and the school district for 4 years told me I was stupid and didn't know what I was talking about until I got her to a neuropsych for an evaluation. And the first day she says, "Your daughter's dyslexic."
Yeah.
And I'm going, "Yay!"
No,
And
that's true.
That's
a lot of
validation
times,
what you as a parent
Yeah.
already knew, but the schools, they're not going to support.
right.
well, see,
And
we can't have a parent. What I like about the ESAs, because I had a child that didn't quite fit that square, round peg in a square hole type of scenario, right? My child is very artistic. She's very smart, but you can't keep her in a box. So I was able to go outside of that. And instead of back in my old fashioned days, if you didn't succeed in school, you were automatically truant. You were automatically that kid that was going to drop out. When not every child is designed for the classroom setting.
right.
And they're designed for different types of modalities of teaching. And I was really excited to see that ESA pushed through, because then we're giving every child an opportunity to succeed in their playing field, because every child is created differently.
Yeah. My youngest daughter, we tried to, in elementary school, we got her gait tested, and she came home and she says, "Mom, I just marked anything because I didn't want to be known as smart."
Yeah.
But when she got into the high school over here, her first year, she flunked 5 out of 8 core classes.
Hmm.
I got her into a charter high school over what the first one was in Avondale, and then we moved her over to Peoria. And then she enrolled at the age of 15 into the junior college.
Wow.
And we discovered the problem was she was
was
bored
bored.
to death.
That was
They
my
could
daughter.
not keep her occupied
They're highly
in a-
intelligent.
in
Yep.
the regular public school.
Exactly. So then they're just drift. That was my oldest. She's
So-
very highly intelligent.
If we had left her in the public school, she would have either dropped out or
Yep.
been a total flunky.
Yep.
And as it was, she graduated the high school at the age of 16. She got her associate's degree 3 months later from the junior college. And 3 weeks after that, she was a junior at ASU at the age of 17.
Yep. I love it.
That's why school choice is so important, because
It's very important.
all the kids are different and they learn differently. And we, like you said, like the old school way was you fit in this box, otherwise you were a troublemaker or you were this.
you were
we couldn't-
labeled
right,
something
we couldn't
bad.
quite understand that you could be a good student. It just wasn't your
Fit.
right. It didn't fit you. And
Mhm.
now with school choice and ESA is, I know it's not, for charter schools, but it's for all the different private schools. There's online learning. There's, of course, homeschooling, which actually is, schooling at home, I guess is what they call it if you're on ESA. Homeschooling is slightly different, but all these different choices. And you're right, like the funds, we are willing to spend a great deal of money to educate children, but why only public school children?
Right.
Why not every child?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like-
Especially when you're not even guaranteed a quality education anymore.
Mhm.
Right. Like I know way back in the old days, I call it that, but when my kids were in school, the homeschooled kids were the weirdos. Right. That was a stereotype.
Hey,
And that was just, and
I was
that
homeschooled
not
back in the day.
necessarily true, but that was a
It was true.
stereotype because it was a very minority group.
Mhm.
But when I talked to the parents, they actually had more practical knowledge. For example, they'd go to the grocery store with their mom and they would say, okay, now calculate how much it's going to cost me to buy 5 pounds of apples.
Yeah.
great math skills. And for a child like maybe my child who can't keep the attention and is highly intelligent, that's more interactive. She would have succeeded at that versus giving her a times table because she could memorize a times table like that. But is it really building those other skill sets?
Right.
Which is what I'm like, I never thought of it that way. When you really look into the home curriculum, we can get creative and also infuse other qualities of teaching, not just learning the math and the science, but the social skills, right? The thinking outside of the box skills. Those are huge. And that comes in with those other modalities that,
I think that
Yeah.
that learning
They
life
all-
applications, or
Mhm.
kids don't see that as school or as learning, but of course it truly is. But a lot of times kids don't see it that way. It's much more fun for them,
Yes.
and then that makes it them want to learn. And if you can cultivate a love of learning and a desire of learning, that's going to be so much more important than just memorizing,
Yeah.
just spelling words for this week
Right.
that you're not going to
Exactly.
remember in
Yeah.
2 months.
So I'm glad you're fighting for ESA dollars. We need the parents to stay. God put us in charge of our children.
The
He
government
entrusted
does
this.
not own my child.
No.
The
That's right.
government is not going to tell me my child has to have a surgery for
Absolutely.
transitioning.
Well, and what we're hearing
know.
a lot as well with the bond money is that they're building, a lot of them are capital improvements. They're being labeled that, like maybe a new air conditioning unit, but they're really building medical buildings, nurses' offices in the back of the school.
Yeah.
And you got to wonder what they want to give those children: birth control pills, maybe the day after pill,
Well, when
sex
they pass
education.
that, if the proposition for the governor's emergency power passes, we're going to end up like New Hampshire and Vermont, where the schools are going to be authorized to give your kids an inoculation, whether you approve it or not.
That's right. We
All
can't
these
have
things they're
parental
trying
rights.
to-
We have parental rights in the state of Arizona.
Right. All these things are trying to completely undermine that. I've heard so many people say, like,
The Bible tells
Your
us
child
that
is
the children
ours.
are ours.
Yes.
right.
God
gave
entrusted
us
We
those
are
children.
supposed to raise
and we're
them.
the ones that were given the responsibility from God for them, not
Right.
you and you and you, but me.
That's right.
I'm responsible for my children.
That's right.
And
That's
the
right.
other big thing I'm against is Prop 139, because both of my children are adopted
Right.
because I was
Tell us what
unable
Prop
to have my
139.
own.
What is Prop 139?
That's the one where they want to make abortion all the way up to and including birth.
The Abortion Access Amendment?
And the lies on the TV are saying that Arizona has an abortion ban. We do not.
No.
We have a law.
Yes, we do. Up to how many weeks?
15 and past that if there is complications.
Right. Yeah, I was gonna say it is past 15 if it's the life of the mother, correct?
Yeah. And the big thing else is that these ads on TV are making it sound like when these ladies are having miscarriages, they're classifying it as an abortion and the doctors don't want to take care of it.
Right.
A miscarriage is not an abortion.
Right. Right.
And yeah, so it's
So there's a
just-
lot of lying going on as always. I mean, do your own research, but for sure, just high level. Go back to your faith. We're Latinos. If you're watching this segment and you're a Latino community, we believe in life at conception.
Mm-hmm.
That's our faith. That's what we're grounded in. And don't let anybody else lie to you. It's not an inconvenience. There's plenty of kids out there that are wanted by, like you said, parents who can't have children.
Yeah.
That would love. I have friends who have adopted, and honestly, you could not tell that those children are not their biological children. You can't tell.
well, for me, you can, because both of my kids do not look like me and my husband at all.
I'm not talking about
But,
physicality. I'm
yeah,
talking about
Yeah.
the
I-
love and the unconditional love and sacrifice you give for that child.
I tried
despite
to raise them
all
to
of
be
that.
good citizens. And that
Yeah.
was my main purpose, to be a good citizen. And my oldest daughter, she does not like to be called African American. She says, I may be black, but I am not African American. So, and
Yeah.
my youngest one is of a Hispanic descent. And in fact, she just got married Thursday night.
Oh, how fun.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
So, yeah, well, they've been dating for 6 years, so it's about time.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness,
Yep.
yeah.
Excellent.
It's
Excellent.
always a blessing when the
Well,
family
thank
gets
you so
bigger.
much for joining us, Diana. Best of luck, blessings to you for all that you're sacrificing, and we pray that you get into that seat.
We need to turn our district this is the first time in about 5 or 6 election cycles that we've actually had a Republican on the ballot,
Wow.
let alone 3
I'm
at
saying
one
every
time.
spot,
Yep.
right?
And good patriots at that.
So, yes.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
I feel like LD22 is almost as blue as LD11. Like they're the two
Yeah.
like bluest areas.
It's because they're
so-
mostly Latinos and they believe they're Democrats. So
Right.
until you go knock on their door and share your values and they're like, oh,
Where's
well,
the card? Do
maybe
you still have the card? No?
Oh,
it's down there.
Okay.
The wind
never
blew
mind.
You
it
know,
down.
No, it's
Yeah.
fine.
So until you share those values and they realize I'm not Democrat, I guess I'm a Republican. I'm a
Right.
conservative. Yeah.
Right. And I think like for some people it's difficult for them to say like, oh, I'm a Republican. Much
Right.
easier it might be to say like I have
Conservative.
conservative
Yeah,
values and
that's true.
things like that. I think that is for people who have like a bit of a stigma
True.
about that.
True.
be easier.
Well, and I think they feel they may be betraying their culture or their
Mhm.
family,
right.
right?
I know. I've heard that.
Kind of like when you like I was baptized Catholic, but I now practice my Christian faith, and that was hard for my mom to first accept. She's like, I baptized you Catholic.
Mhm.
I'm like, well, I'm Christian now. That's what happens when you're a teenager. But maybe something along the line. It's just baked into our culture, and it's hard identity to kind of shift from that.
Yeah. I was talking to I think one of my daughters recently just about that, about how much of like the Latino like culture is like Catholic as well. Like people
Mhm.
when I say like, well, I don't do that or I don't know that, they're like, what? And I'm like, oh well, I'm not Catholic, and they're like, oh okay,
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a Catholic thing. I thought that was
Yeah.
just like a Latino thing because
Yeah.
it's so like strongly
Well,
tied
and you
in.
know, when I canvass the Latino communities and I see some of the like the Virgen de Guadalupe and the Virgin Mary and other statues like that, other saints, and I immediately talk with them about the abortion amendment. Immediately, they're no, we're not voting that way, and they don't understand that the Democrat Party is 100% behind aborting children, and the evidence of that is a lot. That's why we have grandmas raising their grandchildren
Yeah.
because they don't want the child to be aborted. They understand life and the preciousness of life and the sanctity of it. So that's the biggest message. If the Democrat Party is willing to kill babies, the God's most precious gift. I mean,
Right.
that alone should shift you to voting
A true
conservative.
innocent. You know what I mean?
Purely innocent.
Well,
I mean, it just
The big
brutal.
hypocrisy is a lot of the Democrats are against the death penalty for criminals that have committed real bad crimes, but yet they want to kill an innocent baby that hasn't done anything yet.
Right. No, we're
So
getting the
it's-
wrap from our producer.
Yes.
Great topic, though. Life at
We'll have
conception.
Paula come up and join us in a minute. And Paula is with Maha.
Okay.
So she was the first one of the first
Hi.
ones that I talked to today.
Come on over. We are going to welcome our friend from the Maha movement. Thank you, Diana, for joining us. Appreciate
And
it.
she was telling me how she is, because for me personally, when I think of somebody who come from Maha, I think of them. Well, they're probably already more independent, more
Yeah.
conservative, more right leaning, but that's not the case with Paula.
Oh, I can't wait to hear
Yes,
Paula.
So it's very, very exciting because it's so different.
Right. So
So
we're
different from what you might expect to have seen or expect.
Excellent.
Your expectations is
because it's
defying
like,
them.
as someone else had said earlier in our segment, hi, welcome, that it's what brings us together, right?
Mhm.
It's what we have, what our shared values and whatever that is that creates the unity to win. Because that's what it's going to take. It's going to take all of us coming together to win America back from the globalist people that want to take it over and have basically dismissed us as a voice, as a right, as a citizenship. So welcome, Paula.
Hold on, we got to
Wait, we got to hook you up. You're not quite.
Give,
you don't have
give
a hot
Eric
mic.
A second,
You don't
but-
have a hot mic yet.
And I can put down my pro-life shirt. for a
Where
second.
did you come here from California?
No,
No,
that was Scarlett.
I'm Arizona.
Okay, you're one of our local.
Okay, so your mic's
Maha.
on now, so welcome. Thank you for joining us on Chips and Salsa. So tell us about your support of RFK.
Well, it started from California
Okay.
when I was there for a few years, and I realized he was working with Children's Health Defense about vaccine safety.
Yes.
And my daughter was a person who had chronic illness, got rheumatoid arthritis at
Okay.
age 16. And so at that age, I got curious about why do young kids get old people's diseases?
Mhm.
And so I found Bobby Kennedy then 8 years
Oh,
ago.
wow. Wow. I have a friend that's very much involved with Children's Health Defense Fund.
Yes,
I never knew a thing even existed. I was part of the Latino community, at least when I was raised that way, is you believe what everything your doctors tell you.
exactly.
They know the best, right?
They're the
Yes.
experts.
Yeah, they're the experts. But I have a friend whose children are in mid to late 30s have never been vaccinated.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how did you do that? And she said it was a struggle back before computers, before
Mhm.
the internet, but it was her father who was a Phoenix, no, not Phoenix, Chicago PD that told her be very, very careful with those
Wow.
vaccines. So I'm not really sure exactly what he shared with her, but he shared with her some details that got her thinking about questioning the vaccinations. And she's never had either both of her children vaccinated at that age
Wow, that's impressive.
ever.
Yeah.
And
I-
that when her oldest lost her job because she didn't want to get during the pandemic. She
Mhm.
worked for an organization that tried to force it, and she was tortured because she was had her dream job,
Right.
traveling, all that, and then it's like all this time I've never had to have and now it was hard. She didn't take it, but she lost a very lucrative position in a very prominent company,
Mhm.
and it's sad that they do that to us.
They did
Yeah.
it to a lot of people.
Yes.
And more importantly than that, people lost friends and family
Yes.
members because people would, I hate to use the word discriminate, but
Stigmatize
yeah,
them.
you're stigmatized, and people did not want to,
Yes.
families, it broke
Oh,
families
yeah.
apart.
100%.
And so it's very sad.
Yes, I know. Even in our family, we have a very large Mexican family, and we get together
Is there
every.
any other kind?
Yeah, that's true. I don't know, and we get together for Easter every
Mhm.
year, and during the first year after the pandemic, we didn't talk for a long time,
Oh.
and my sister finally said, you know what, I'm tired of this. Let's just do it. We're just gonna get together, and it was a year after.
Mhm.
And that was kind of the time that everybody gets together and familiarizes themselves, catch up and stuff. So yeah, it created a lot of division. And the saddest part for me is watching those in the nursing homes that couldn't
Definitely.
Yeah.
visit
Locked
their
up.
loved ones. Thank God my sister had the foresight and just the discernment. My mom was in an assisted living at the time.
Mhm.
We were actually at a family reunion. We had family from out of state when they locked everyone down. And my sister said, Mom's not going back. And she lived with my sister. Mom lived with my sister for a year and a half. And thank God for that because she would
Yeah.
have been
Yeah.
locked down, not allowed to visit, and God
Yeah.
knows maybe deteriorated. Like my one good friend, her father deteriorated in the nursing
I
home.
can't imagine like how
Quickly.
tough mentally that would
Oh,
be to know you can't see your family and you don't know how long it's going to be
I
before you
know.
can see a person,
right. Because it's not even
a
family,
loved
it's
one, but
services.
also a person. Yeah,
Yes,
any
they're-
visitor.
They
I
shut
can't.
down all of the entertainment, all of the.
Horrific what
It's
what
horrible.
they did, but especially to the people in like
Oh,
assisted living.
but
nursing
sorry to
homes.
interject. You were
No,
sharing your
what you're
story.
talking about very passionately is very true. I was in California for a 5-year span at that time, and a church I went to, the Reverend's husband, he was older, and he need kidney dialysis 3 times a week, and I took him every week to go down to kidney dialysis, 45-minute drive to Santa Barbara and back, and hang around, and I would be
Yeah.
like 6 hours
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
thing. And when that came, they wouldn't let me take him anymore. Instead, they would let some driver in a bus pick him up, and he would fight him because he was losing it
Yeah.
dimensionally also. And he would fight and do that, but they would not let someone who loves him take him. They would let a total
Which
stranger
makes no
drive him.
sense.
And then they put him in assisted living because he was going down fast because isolation
Of course.
from our elderly,
Of course.
and he died in there alone.
Oh,
That's
it's
Not surrounded.
heartbreaking.
And
It is
California was
heartbreaking.
stricter than here.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so imagine for a year
Yeah.
living isolated and how that would deter. So I'm so glad that they got your mother.
Me too.
somewhere.
That was a God thing.
Yeah.
I'm telling
because once you were acquainted with RFK, so then that's why you decided you wanted to like make sure that he was on the ballot here in Arizona.
That was started, and then it was Bernie. I was a Bernie bro.
you. Okay.
I
Mhm.
really wanted equal rights for people, and I
Right.
believed in that. I was a progressive
Okay.
progressive Democrat, and not the weird, all the stuff that they do now that's just way left for even my progressive friends in California.
Okay.
So they don't represent a lot of people. And when they made Bernie take the knee after he won a couple of primaries and then Biden
In
won,
2016.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. And when he took the knee, I realized it's rigged. And so I've been voting second party because I kind of bought into the orange man bad syndrome.
Yep.
And I couldn't vote there because I don't vote out of fear, but I voted independence just to get someone on the debate stage. But then came Kennedy, and he gave me something to
Oh,
vote
yeah.
for.
Yeah.
So I was one of the top people doing the ballot access, getting him on, doing events
Wow.
for fundraisers, and I've met him 5 times. And once last December was 50 people in a home for 3 hours, and I got to talk to him about my nonprofit for 10 minutes. He's the real deal. He cares. He's very
Love it.
knowledgeable, and when you feel his energy, he gives you something to believe in. And
Yeah,
so
I
that's
like
why I
him.
work very hard for
Well,
him.
when I heard that he was running, I had
Mhm.
a friend text me. She's like, "Patty, what do you think of this?" And he texted a picture of Trump and Kennedy. He's like, "What about this on a ticket?" I'm like, "Oh man!" And that was early this year, right? Before
Yeah,
we thought about
before
this,
it happened.
before all
Yeah.
this. And I remember thinking, and I mean, him and I are like, "Wow, would that be a team?
Yes.
Would that be a team?" Because I was listening to. I'm a Republican, and but I'm also, in college I voted for Ross Perot.
Me
Who was in
too.
the red, yeah, independent. So because I'm very independent minded,
Sorry.
I'm a free thinker. I don't necessarily
Yeah.
draw inside the lines, but I'm a very staunch pro life.
Me too.
So that's really what draws me back to the Republican Party. I won't even go into anything else, but with the current platform. But anyhow, so when I would watch some of his podcasts, Bobby Kennedy, because I really
Yes.
enjoyed what he had to say. But I'll tell you what I'm most excited about, and there's a lot of things to be excited with.
Definitely.
Bobby Kennedy is his whole um, experience and knowledge and ambition for the addiction in that community.
Me too.
Huge,
Me too.
because I have family that struggle with addiction,
Me
and
too.
what he has learned from France and Europe.
Yes.
Oh my gosh! And I was just talking with someone the other day who's currently struggling with family member with addiction. Like if Trump gets in, yeah, he'll get Bobby in. Bobby can. I mean, we need to fix this.
We need to help
The
our
addiction
children.
can be fixed. They don't need to continue. That's what the homelessness is all about. That's a root of a lot of it.
Yes.
And they need to come up with different modalities. And I like what he had to say. And he was talking on it recently at an event in, I think it was New York or somewhere. And you get all these videos that pop up on Facebook. And then
Yeah.
I think I received a call and then it went away and I need to find it. But he was again talking about that residential treatment facility, I'm going to call it, in France, and where they talked about the different modalities, which included equine, raising your own
Yes.
sheep, taking care of animals, like being
Growing
a farmer,
food and
growing
all that,
food,
yeah.
being a rancher, hands-on, and coming out of it with a technical expertise, a certification for a hands-on degree for a plumber, electrician, or whatever
Yeah.
you want to do. And I thought that's brilliant, because a lot of times these individuals go to the 7-day, 10-day, 15-day, 30-day. They come out, okay, whatever. What am I going to do now? They're not feeling like they've gained any self-worth. But if they're in a program that actually treats the root of their cause
Exactly.
and then gives them hope, you get the vitamin D, you're outside working with your hands, you're producing, you've accomplished something, whether it be a crop or you cared for a mare that's going to have a calf. It becomes that endorphin, right? That's released. And then you come out of that with a skill set. Maybe you're going to be a vet tech or something. I love that. I mean, I really, if there has to be one thing, and like I said, there's a lot that he brings. For me, that's just close to my heart, because a lot of family I know and friends really struggle with that.
It's affected my family also. And when he talks about that, about bringing our kids, and it's not right now we have a system that only families, so it's not equal for families who are poor. You
Mhm.
have to have money and insurance to
Yes.
get your kids help.
Yes.
That's not what we need in
Right.
America. We need to bring our monies from wars home and take care of our own.
Yes.
And one of the things it's not enough for a month, and it
No.
bankrupts, even the co-pays bankrupt
Yes.
people to get this help for their kids.
Right.
And he talks about a whole year, and by taxing, making marijuana legal and taxing is how we're going to pay for it for
A lot of it,
everybody's
yes.
child. And that's what we need. And you take them for a whole year, you nurture them all this healing that you're talking
Mhm.
about, teaching them
Yes.
trades. So after a year, they're ready to come
Yes.
integrate, and they won't go stay in those same addictive
Right.
patterns. It affects all of us. Who hasn't had a family member
Yes,
that's been impacted?
Well, and for me, for them, it's about, you know, cherishing God's creation.
Yeah.
They're still a child of God that
Mhm.
have an addiction, have that
Mhm.
disease, that tendency.
Mhm.
We can't give up on them, and that seems to be what the system has done. One thing I notice is that I I I don't like any movement that becomes a business.
Yeah.
Because then you lose the passion and the purpose and objective. And what I like to see is a movement die off because we fix something like abortion, like cancer.
Put it out of business.
Absolutely.
For
Like
sure.
child sex trafficking. We don't need cancer to be a multi-billion-dollar business. Fix it.
Well, you have a 10-story the
Yes.
pink, the cancer, breast
Yes.
cancer, and it's you can't put it out, or there's a whole industry that goes away. So I think there are solutions out there, and we need to focus on them. And that's why I'm like you. I'm glad that Kennedy dropped out. And now we, as the grassroots people, that we were kind of like the top 10 people. Some were on paid staff. I was a volunteer, and we have created harnessing that energy
Nice.
of Bobby's supporters to get them to vote up and down the
Have to,
Republican
because we need
thing.
Bobby in there.
And we need people like Carrion to help him.
Yes.
We need everyone, even Matt, who you just talked to
Yes.
today.
Yes.
We need everyone to support this movement, and we want to see Bobby there, and we want to see him and Trump's administration creating
Yep.
these changes. And one thing that Bobby has said is they're going to do everything by executive orders, and we know Trump's the king of executive orders, and he'll be out there. It'll be
Well,
like a
he's gonna
football
have- they're
team.
gonna
He'll
have
be
to do
breaking down
that.
the barriers.
They're going
right?
to have to do that because you
Yeah.
still have the deep state Democrats and they're fighting for it
Yeah.
because it's all about big pharma. They've
Yeah.
all lined their pockets with money, whether it be
Mhm.
war, keeping people, killing them out in the war
Military
field,
industrial.
right? Or pharma.
Big ag.
It's horrible. It's
Yeah.
horrible. The food industry, all the consultants,
Yes.
all the lobbyists, they're not for us. And that's, I don't care for executive orders in the purest sense of an executive
Mhm.
order because it should be for the people. But look where we're at. I mean, we
know.
have to make change, and to bring that change, we might have to push that through.
Yeah.
And that's why I think it was the other gal that talked about it. Bobby looked outside of himself and said, it's not
Yes.
about me.
Mhm.
How do I fix this problem? I have to join. We have to join together where we're strong, where our values are shared, and together we will push
Yes.
it forward. And that's what I love about the movement. We got people from all over,
Yep.
and they're coming in. I've been to some of the Bobby Kennedy rallies, and
Mhm.
it's awesome. My daughter went to the one in Scottsdale. He totally converted her. She was a Republican to begin with, but she's a nursing student. She's all into healthcare. She's all in the medical field, and she loved what he had to say. Super excited for him. And she came home and started chasing ballots and call all her college roommates and her cousins saying, you got to vote Trump and you got to make sure he's in there. We're not ever going to find a home. And then he'll get Bobby in, and it's
Right.
just exciting. They get it. There's that connection.
My daughter's 24 and a nurse.
Okay.
And in Tennessee right now. But yeah, and that's how we're looking at it. And that's why we're helping everyone up and down the ballot get in so we can change this, because we have more in common than we have different with
Absolutely.
Republicans. The Democratic Party left us. They're the party of mandates, censorship, war. And I'm from a military family. Both of my parents were in the Army, and I used to have a big high-tech company that I did a lot of things for the DoD.
Okay.
And I regret that, because I think we have so many brilliant people in America that we can change the economies. The government with Trump
Right.
and Kennedy, they can turn around and fund these big military industrial complexes to clean up the oceans, do other things, solve
Real-
cancer, solve help us with real things that affect Americans.
Wouldn't that be? I mean, I just told my
That's my
husband the other
dream.
day, I'm like, it's going to be like a dream come true, almost like a euphoric experience
Mhm.
when Trump gets in and they actually clean it all up.
Yes.
Elon Musk, Bobby Kennedy, Trump, Tulsi. I mean, we got people that really want to fix America and make it for us. and not for the wealthy.
And we were all Democrats, most of us.
I
Who would have thought?
know.
But
I
again,
know, but thank
we're
you
all
so much.
independent thinkers
Yeah.
like you, right? If we
Yeah.
all use our critical thinking and don't align with labels, but do what's
Right.
right for our families, our communities,
Yep.
that's how we're going to change America,
and
not
human-
just
Humankind.
human,
know,
team humanity.
Find the goodness in people. Like, oh, I'm telling you, I cannot wait for Bobby to get in there and fix what's wrong with the addiction. I've talked to homeless
Yeah.
people, and I'm like, do you want us to drive you to a shelter? And they're like,
Yeah.
no. Like, why? He goes, because they just give us drugs. I don't want to be on drugs. I don't
Yeah.
want the drugs they put me on, which is psychological,
Yeah.
or psychotic drugs.
Psychotropic.
And they're like, don't want it.
Mhm.
I don't blame them.
Our whole medical establishment, and Kennedy talks about this, and you guys have heard everything's a pill now.
It's horrible.
It's not treating the symptoms, be it in healthy diets, or chemical exposures, whatever it
Yes,
is.
exactly.
We everything's a pill, and
Yeah.
a pill doesn't solve
No.
life.
Well, like he talks about, we're the wealthiest nation in the world, but we're the unhealthiest. Look at our
Yes.
kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this is incredible, and we're killing babies like crazy in the womb.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just pure evil. I don't even understand it, but I'm really hopeful, and I try to speak that to everybody I talk to. Common sense, man.
Yeah.
It's
Yep.
just common sense. Do you
Yep.
want more of the
So-
same, more corruption, or do you want more of us?
Exactly.
We're getting the rap from our producer.
Well, thank you
Well,
so much for
thank
joining
you
us
so
and
much.
chatting, and thank you for all the work that you did for
Love it.
RFK, because we'll all benefit from, because just getting him on the ballot, it put pressure, it put attention,
did,
and
it
that was helpful, and that's part of why we are where we are right now. So
Thank you so much, because we worked so hard, and there's a lot of people that were out here were Bobby supporters, and we all
Awesome.
got him on 1 week, and a week later he got off.
Really?
But we got him to the table so
Right.
the change and the discussion can happen, and we're happy.
I
You
mean,
guys are
having a
awesome.
seat at the table, that's more than half the battle.
You're
really.
trailblazer.
Yes. All of us
Yes.
are. We're all here.
Woo!
Look at you Latina hustlers
That's
up in
right.
here. Chips and salsa at the table.
Now we
thank
just need
you.
the real chips and salsa next time, because I'm getting hungry
I know.
for some chips and salsa.
Well, thank you very much for
Thank
having
you.
us and
Oh my
supporting
gosh.
the Maha hat on your head.
Love the
Appreciate it.
Maha. Oh, I saw Carlos with the Maha hat, and he's like, "You want it?" I'm like, "Yeah."
And I have some for your children.
Oh,
too.
thank
Oh,
you.
I know you
perfect.
have 3 children.
Four.
Four. I got 4.
I don't know where they went. I think they're at the park now, because the
Well,
bouncy house is
I'll
down,
take one
but-
for my daughter if you have an extra.
I got an extra
Oh,
one.
okay.
she
for
would
you
love that.
guys.
Or I could give her mine if you have.
No, I'm
No.
just so glad.
Oh, I'm
Be
happy
here.
for our future, for
Oh, me, I'm
future
ecstatic.
grandchildren, my kids.
This
We
is the
gotta give 'em
highest
hope.
timeline I feel with them coming together, this whole dream team
Yep.
that are just really about purpose and passion. So thank you very much.
And just in
Yes.
closing, I was there when Bobby Kennedy came out and announced publicly. You were probably there too. He endorsed Trump. It was like,
earlier.
I
was
was excited.
I
Oh
took my
my
daughter.
gosh.
That was like her first Trump rally. She was so
that's right.
excited.
You were there.
Yeah.
I saw you.
She was so
Oh,
excited
were you guys
to
there?
be able to.
Yeah,
she
and
said she
by
was
the
there
way,
too.
the speech, the 45-minute speech, and everyone needs to listen to Kennedy's last
Again.
speech. Yes, it's important.
Oh, I have to. Yeah.
But thanks again.
totally.
I
Thank you
appreciate
so
you guys.
much.
Thank you.
Appreciate you too. All right. Our producer is giving us the wrap, but we are going to wrap it up. And what are we doing?
We're wrapping it up for today, I think. So thank you,
The sun
everyone
is
who
setting.
stopped by and talked to us. I'm sorry that we didn't get a chance to talk to everybody. Who did we miss? We missed Kelly Cooper. We missed Justin Heath. We missed Josh Ayala. We missed Sandra Jerez. So thank you guys for coming and walking around and visiting. I mean, I know you got to meet people, but I apologize that we didn't get to have you on the air. And thank you to the people who were able to stay and speak to us. And thank you to you guys who are watching. If you couldn't come out, or the ones who did come out, thank you. Just really, really appreciate all that. And of course, to our sponsor, Pure 5 Extraction, we always want to give a big thank you to you and all that you do to support us. So thanks. And we will see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye. Vote Republican all the way down.
All the way down.
Yep.